thought you said you were fucking ready, cunt.
All right, we're live. Hello, and welcome to the cunt stream full of Schmeckle's harem with butter in the corner.
Yes, tonight we have my, well, I've actually seen very few of them. So we have my possibly beautiful harem. Chambers of My Heart, Crazy Hair, Hack Job, Tiki Bomber, and Reading Ren. And then Flutter, of course, is over in the corner, dick in hand, just enjoying the show.
You could say it's an actual honest cunt stream.
Yes.
Exactly. For once, the cunt stream actually has some, actual cunts. Usually we have a non, but does she really count after the surgery?
Aww. Well, she feels better soon.
Wait, what?
Oh, come on. A non wishes more of her cunt was removed.
Let's not get morbid.
Morbid. Jesus Christ, you cunts have never been here, have you?
Oh. Okay, I was gonna read that out in the side chat, but no.
I can promise that Anon's very happy such things are gone. She's more unhappy that certain parts are not gone.
Can you stop talking about dismembering people? God, fucking creeper.
What happened to Anon?
Dismembering people. Oh, what should we talk about then? Flutter. Have you enjoyed the view? And which part was the best?
What's that?
Oh, nothing. I forgot. We're not supposed to actually include you.
Oh.
Well, has anyone seen the Teen Vogue thing where apparently they talked about why anal sex is good?
Well, also,
Is it not obvious?
seeing
It's
the-
tighter, it's warmer, it's more degrading to women. What's not good about it?
It's
Oh my gosh.
lowering the teen pregnancy rates.
Well, there's that too, yeah.
I wouldn't mind if
But
it was Cosmo, but why Teen Vogue?
because
Yeah,
they're
that-
retarded.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, yeah, that's a little weird. I didn't hear.
Teen Vogue. Not Vogue or Cosmo. Teen Vogue.
Yeah, because my friend, like when we were in high school, she had like a Teen Vogue magazine. She was an idiot, and like I don't remember ever seeing an article about sex. Like it was all like fashion and shit. So that's weird.
Yeah, that's aimed at like fucking 15, 16-year-olds, right?
I think it's
Yeah.
14 to like 19, but it's like if you're gonna talk about sex or bring it up, like just talk about like, oh, this is how you, like, I don't know, like health class 101 stuff. Like don't feel like,
I don't think it's entirely bad because I mean,
well, I know.
14 to 19-year-olds, they're having sex, right?
But I don't think many of them do anal. That seems pretty hardcore.
Anal's not that hardcore.
It really
I was
isn't.
fucking girls up the ass in high school. Like,
Well, I mean, you're a dude.
But
well, yeah,
no.
I guess maybe it's more hardcore for the chick taking the dick up her ass.
Yeah, just
Yeah. Well, not to mention the article didn't mention anything about like it's like why anal sex is good, not the practical. If you're gonna do that, not the practicals of hey, lube is a thing.
Yeah,
Well, and something too is because if you do that too much, you can actually cause other health complications that have been documented and people have been treated for. So,
Also, if you don't do it right as well, there's a right way of doing it.
yeah. That's why it never really. I don't know. People are just like, let's do it, and I'm like, eh.
All right, so the chat has just, or I should say, Tim Huggins has just realized that Crazy Hair is here. Would you be willing to speak about that whole shit, Crazy Hair? I don't know if she's there.
I think she had to go AFK
Yeah.
to go and praise the porcelain gods.
Yeah, we'll ask her later.
Yeah, Tim, you can go see the numerous amounts of videos and the previous stream that she was on.
Yeah, if you're all that interested, Tim, there's. She said her bit a couple times.
Yeah, She did just a few hours ago too with who was it on? Was it on Very Nearly Virals?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. They did a whole thing, so
And Tiki, you do know Red and a couple others probably will go off and tell Twitter, right?
Yeah. I'm still saying don't tell Twitter.
Don't tell Twitter
what are we not? What are we not telling Twitter?
That thing.
What thing?
That it's
That
it's
thing.
Tiki's birthday.
oh,
Just don't tell Twitter. I'm playing a game with them.
I'm
Yeah,
retweeting
no,
it right now.
chat. Remember not to tell any of Twitter that it's Tiki's birthday, and also don't tell them that she's a feminist. So
Oh no, they already know I'm a feminist. It's just don't tell them it's my birthday. They keep asking me to put my birthday in. I was like, hey Twitter, how about you just guess my birthday?
yeah. So how many feminists have blocked you, or how about how many feminists have interacted with you?
Blocked. Does Steve Shives count?
You sure?
No, Steve Shives is a given.
He's a given.
Shives
that
blocks
crazy
everyone.
Okay. What about Anita Sarkeesian? Does she count?
Hello?
Oh,
Hello? Can anyone hear me?
there we are.
Yeah.
Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you.
We can all hear you.
I just spent like 10 minutes being like, can nobody hear me? Like,
Well, yeah, none of us could.
what is going on here? Yeah, the answer to your question was yes, ask me anything. And I'm just like, why can no one hear me? What's going on? Is this a joke?
No, I mean I know you've spent a lot of time at this point
Yeah.
clearing everything up.
That's
and all
okay. I
that.
still have people contacting me all the time being like, come on my live stream. Like, you know what, bro? Like, I've said everything I have to say, but if you want to call me, add me on Skype.
To be fair, I didn't get you on here to talk about that. Just
Yeah, no
since
worries.
brought up in the chat. I was wondering, like, basically, the one thing that gets me, like, I'm willing to accept all the rest as coincidence, like the running into Andy and Franny and all that, the
Yeah.
getting onto the elevator with other people. What bothers me is the, recording outside the room.
Oh yeah, I definitely 100% did that. That is the one thing that they're accusing me of that I actually did. The one thing.
Why
Yeah,
did
and
you do
definitely
that, though?
that.
It's
So
the
creepy.
one thing that actually bothers me. It's like, did you have you deleted the recording?
No,
since,
no,
or-
I haven't, and I'm not planning on it. And I'll tell you why. Because
Okay.
I feel like if people are going to ask for things from other people, they should argue in good faith. And what I've received from these people is nothing but arguments in bad faith. They've accused me of everything under the sun, from carrying a weapon to stalking them to hacking their group chat to hacking their Twitter to everything. So if I'm going to be confident in the fact that I heard what I heard, I need to keep that recording, because I actually, for a moment there, did doubt myself. I said, like, you know what? Maybe they didn't say everything that I think they said. And so I went back and I cleaned up the recording and I listened to it. And yes, they said everything and even worse, because obviously I was listening to it from a point of being sober versus hearing it when I was drunk. And like, yes, it is just as bad, and it says just as many bad, horrible things as they claim, and it even has like a couple references by them to words that are only used by people that are doing drugs. So there's like that backing up thing. So yeah, it's shitty that I'm keeping it, and it's shitty that I did that, but it's the one thing that I'm guilty of. But if they would have come to me from a place of like, hey, and keep in mind, like when they were having this like brainstorming session of this is all the shit that Naomi is guilty of, they were literally across the street from me. So they could have been like, hey, Naomi, pack up all of your recording stuff, come across the street. We need to hash some shit out. And because some of these people were actually my friends, like I used to go to memory with my like panic attacks and shit. So she could have been like, hey, come across the street, pack up all your shit. We need to talk to you. I would have been like, no problem. I would have crossed the street. They could have reviewed every single one of my like memory cards and seen what I had versus what I didn't have, which is like everything they're saying except this one recording. And they would have seen like what was happening versus what wasn't happening. But because they're coming to me from a point of like, all of this shit is your fault, I don't believe that they can argue in good faith, and so I'm keeping it.
And I can kind of see where you're coming from, but there's still the issue that you've got some recordings that you shouldn't have taken and that you shouldn't be keeping.
First of all, it's not recordings; it's recording, just one.
Recording, right?
And
we have Monday Matt in the chat. Just
We do.
okay, just so you know, a heads up. Mundane Matt is an ambulance chaser. He's chased me around every single chat of every single live stream I've been on in the last X number of days. He's an ambulance chaser. He's chasing me around saying like he didn't approach me to like try to figure out what the drama was because he's a drama like addict. He's saying that I came to him. Honestly, it doesn't matter because what he said was that this behavior by them didn't surprise him. And I feel like he's just trying to do some kind of damage control with his friends, trying to be like, oh, look, like I'm defending you. And so like, if you're going to invite Matt in here, I'm leaving because I'm not going to expose myself.
No, he's just in the chat.
He's just
just in the chat.
I'm just saying, like, if you decide...
he's every bit as welcome as anybody else.
And if you do invite him, I am leaving.
Can
That's
I
what I'm
ask a question?
Good for you
Yeah,
guys to
go
have
ahead.
a conversation.
Okay. So the recording that June put out of what happened to the room right after you left, how much after that did the name calling start? Because that's, as someone who wasn't at VidCon, my only point of reference is all the videos that are out there. So I'm just piecing things together.
Yeah, no worries. First of all, I don't really know because I was tipsy at the time, but I know that I stood out there for 6 minutes, for more than 6 minutes, listening to this shit happen. So it could have happened anywhere between right after I walked out to like 2 feet out the door. Like it could have happened anywhere there. Honestly, like I didn't have my recorder going in the room, contrary to crazy theories. I only turned my recorder on after I realized what they were saying, knowing that the people downstairs wouldn't believe me. And Matt was one of those people was like, do you have proof? And when I let him listen to it, like that's when he started believing me and was like, oh yeah, this behavior doesn't surprise me, blah, blah, blah. And he's just trying to save his ass right now by chasing me around the internet being like, she's a liar. She came to me. I didn't go to her.
So, Cunt Punt, I got a question to ask you too.
Go.
Were you
Go ahead.
aware that June was actually recording you as you were leaving the room itself?
I was not aware that June was recording me at all.
So June was also in the wrong by illegally recording you, and I've already had this argument on Twitter. Either June's in the wrong as well as you, or June's in the right as well as you. But in the state of California, if you do not have somebody's permission to record them, then you're in the wrong to be recording them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. If Crazy Hair wasn't aware that she was being recorded, yes, June was in the wrong, but there are definitely levels to that. And as I've said before, I like Crazy Hair. I've never interacted with June, but from what I've seen of her online, I'm not overly fond of June. But there's definitely a difference between recording somebody with your phone clearly held up before you in the room where they have a line of eyesight to you.
I didn't see that happen. I didn't see that happen.
But, I mean, Skeptic's a tall guy. She was sitting right next to him. From the shot, you can see it was raised to about his head level.
I honestly, and I'm being honest here, like I didn't know that recording was happening.
And I'm not accusing you of knowing it. I'm just saying there's a difference between holding it where everybody can be easily aware of it and hanging out outside a room where nobody can see you.
I know that this is nitpicking right now, but if you look at the angle at which it was shot, obviously somebody's phone is down on the couch, not held up in the air.
But the one being held was clearly held up.
No, it's not held up. Look at the angle of it, and look at like where everybody's sitting.
If that phone was actually held up in the air,
shot of the side of Skeptic's face. It was held
that
up.
couch would have to be at least 3 feet deep for it to be held up that high in the air.
And I'm saying, like, I didn't see that phone. I didn't see anybody
And
recording.
again, I'm not saying you did. I'm just
Okay.
saying there's a clear difference.
Okay, because
Well, in a
there-
court of law, it probably wouldn't be seen as much because if everyone wasn't fully aware of the recording, since California is a two-party state, June could be still held as liable as
Exactly.
crazy here if people weren't aware. Now, I'm not condoning either recording because if I got told, oh, well, we recorded this after the fact, and I wasn't let known, and I said some things, I'd be pretty pissed. Some things I want to address in the chat, though. Matt said something about the recording only being muffled voices. I don't know anything about that.
it's in his
so-
video. He talks about when he heard he says when he heard the recording that it was only muffled voices that you could barely make out anything.
And to comment on that, two things. One, when I played him the recording, we were outside of a very loud bar. And two, Premiere Pro is amazing at the different things that you can do in order to clear up a recording from background noise. And I have. And I can clearly hear what they're saying.
Okay.
Oh God, why you? This is way too many people.
Well,
Yeah, there are a lot of people here, like Sinatra.
Raph
I
had to come in.
recognize.
Raph's my co-host. He gets
Okay,
in
well-
things happens.
And I make Schmeckel feel better about his looks.
I don't know. I feel like
It
this is
really makes me feel
I
pretty.
thought Samaj did that.
And I usually
Both
just
of
sit
them
here,
do that. I purposely picked you ugly cunts as my co-host.
I usually just sit here quietly.
Yeah, say Sinatra's like one of the quietest people that has a sizable channel in any stream.
Sinatra's here to say nothing, but
Yeah,
we
he-
still won't kick him
Well,
out.
Sinatra's here to laugh at like 1 out of 10 of my jokes.
So
There's-
Sinatra and Wrath are going to be in the corner of Schmeckel's harem here.
Well,
Yeah.
here's,
They're taking Futter's place. They're in the corner jacking each other off.
They're in the corner.
I'm
Here's-
okay
It
with
takes
this.
two of them to replace one Futter. Okay.
Hey, no one put Sinatra in the corner.
No.
here's food for thought. I mean, maybe I have to look into this, research this, but talking about the whole, I'm not talking about what happened to you guys. I'm just saying in general, when people always bring up the whole, oh, it's illegal to do that in California, like recording people without their knowing. How far does that extend? Is that
It extends into everything. This includes actual business locations as well. They have to have security cameras up for, security purposes. However, there are signs in these businesses in California that will say, "Smile, you're on camera," or "We're recording you in this store."
yeah,
Yeah,
because
they have to let you know. They let you know ahead of time what they're doing.
Yes.
and why do you think? I mean, I don't know if any other states do that. Maybe New York, but what do you think is the reason behind that, other than California is California and
California is a fucked up state to live in to begin with.
California is California. But
Yeah.
someone in chat's bringing up the Dieter thing, which that's the only one that is.
Yeah, actually,
You want me to explain that?
said I only
Yes.
had one issue. That.
Do you want me to explain that? Okay, so just a heads up to everybody. I had no idea who this Dieter dude was before I went to VidCon.
Obviously, you probably didn't know he was a gay guy. Well,
I honestly didn't know. I still don't know who he is in
Wait,
terms of
Dieter's
like
gay?
content because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
haven't
Dieter's
watched any
gay.
of his shit.
Oh, I never knew that.
So here's the thing. I witnessed him change his behavior when larger quote unquote YouTubers with bigger sub counts were around versus the way that he treated people when larger YouTubers with bigger sub counts quote unquote were around. So I found that the way that he treated certain people, and I witnessed several of these occasions, the way that he treated people like absolute garbage when bigger YouTubers weren't around to witness it versus the way that he treated them like gods or like nice people, like the way that I would treat people, like
So
nicely.
he's a kiss ass.
So like I witnessed that, and that's what I called him out on. Like, and in addition to the fact that
No.
like,
I
he
think we're talking
touched-
about the whole.
he
stop
touched my
harassing.
shoulder. He touched my shoulder, and he had his entire palm around my shoulder, and it made me feel very uncomfortable. And I like wiggled out of it, and he kept putting it there. And eventually I turned around to him and I said, "Stop touching me," or "Don't touch me." And only then did he remove his hand, but everybody was like freaking out about the fact that I yelled at Dieter when in fact it's completely within my right to say, dude, don't fucking touch me. And like that, in addition to the fact that I've witnessed him on multiple occasions behave in this double standard type of like two-faced way, I just didn't get a good.
For a second.
Yeah, sure.
Matt is in the chat saying we all saw Dieter tap her on the shoulder. She just started extra shit to cover her ass for everything else. Matt, pop in and say your bit. Or
Wait, I have a real quick question, and I'm gonna smoke a cigarette real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Never mind. I'm not even gonna say anything.
Now, here's my my concern with what you just said, Crazy.
Wait.
Now,
Let's also read the message below it that says, "Yeah, and you basically attacked Liz Reptile, and she had to pull your hair to get you off." Liz Reptile and I, before this like entire VidCon thing happened, were really like close. We would talk a lot on like private chats and private DMs and stuff, and so like I was super, super excited out of everybody there to meet Liz. So like when I saw her, I was like, oh my God, Liz. And I like ran over and hugged her, and she like acted all awkward and stuff, and I let go. But when the whole thing was happening, like where she was being excluded by like the group and stuff, and people were telling her that they didn't want her there and stuff, like she was the one who came to me and was like, telling me about how unhappy she felt about the fact that everybody was telling her that like she was excluded and stuff, and people were saying that they didn't want her there. So like people can say that I like physically assaulted Liz all they want from now until next Tuesday, but I know what really happened, which was I was super excited to see somebody in person that I was close friends with online. I went over, I hugged them, awkwardness ensued, that's it.
Okay, because that's not what Liz said on Failure Stream.
You say that's
I
not
didn't watch that.
Failure described it as.
And
one second. I need to interrupt.
Yeah,
I just realized there's new markings on Wrath's arm. What are those?
Well, so the original lettering is still there. And what I did is I added a Roman column to it to go with the symbolism of the SBQR being of the Roman Legion.
Wait, were the letters
that's
there
actually
before?
pretty cool.
That does look really cool.
I never noticed the letters before.
Yeah, well,
what the fuck does SPQR mean?
It's Senatus Populus Quae Roma. It's the Senate and people of Rome.
What does that mean?
Well, it means the Senate and people of Rome, but the symbolism behind it is they used to mark the legionaries with it, specifically officers and other elite forces, to remind them why they fought.
Regret asking this question.
Yeah. If there's one thing that Schmeckel does not like,
I did not want a fucking history lesson.
All right, so Wrath, why don't you get into what you were saying beforehand?
Let's go back to crazy hair. I heard you had a box cutter and you wanted to stab bitches or something.
Wait, I thought so.
Far more interesting than Wrath.
Anyone who's actually taken the time to watch the video that I put out, you can start at 30-something minutes if you want to just like look at me addressing every single one of the crazy claims that were put against me. The claim that I had a box cutter and that I had a weapon that I was wielding on people was.
I heard you literally cornered all of them. And you were swinging it around, and you were like, you come here. Oh, fucking, you see this 1-inch blade? It'll be coming out your back. That's how hard it was.
Definitely.
My story was completely different.
The fuck is wrong with you, crazy hair?
The story I heard is that she was like the crab with the knife, just swinging it every time somebody tried to get out of that little corner.
I just heard was what Memory said in her video, which was, and what you said in yours, which was that it was just in your purse or something, and then.
Yeah. So the day after everything happened in the hotel room, Memory invited me to come sit with her and Chris Worski, and eventually Jeff Holiday joined us. That's when I heard from him about like what happened in the hotel room. We were sitting down, we were talking. She was telling me about how they're going to have to probably pack Jeff's boots in their checked baggage because they're considered a weapon, about how he has spikes in them and blah, blah, blah. And that's what caused the conversation to flow to, okay, so I like this really weird thing happened to me where I had gotten through security, like Canadian security, and I was organizing my purse at the airport, and I realized that my craft knife was at the bottom of my purse because I didn't have time to organize my purse before I left for the airport. So I was telling like Memory about how like, yeah, I'd read this article about how like 80% of stuff is missed by the TSA. So I thought like, oh, I'm going to put this to the test. And if they find my craft knife in the exact place where it was when it passed Canadian security, which was just like literally at the bottom, just kicking around with like my tissues and shit.
That is incredible stupidity.
Yeah, like where you're sitting from, and other people have told me like it's incredible stupidity, but from where I'm sitting, it's like whatever, you know, like
stupidity.
That they find it. I'm like, oh, like oops, it was there. Do you want to have like the whole plastic thing, or do you want just like the like craft knife top of it? And it's a craft knife. It's got like this little like thing at the top that's like barely like a half an inch long. They would have taken it, and that's it. It would be over. And that's
it depends on the airport.
Still for a second, Schmeckle. Like this is why the topic came up in the first place.
The part where I say my channel, my channel, my channel.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, that annoyed me so fucking badly.
I do want to ask you this. Was it an actual craft knife or a box cutter? Because there is a difference between the two.
It was a craft knife. It has that little screw on, screw off type like head thing that happens. It's not like a blade. It's not it's like the company on it says X-Acto, but it's one of those like.
So it's like this.
Yeah, it's an X-Acto blade.
Exactly that. That's it. Yes.
Yeah, if it was a fucking box cutter, that thing would have been fucking.
Wait, what? Hold it.
I only brought it up because.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody.
Really dumb thing to bring that into an airport.
I didn't do it on purpose.
I don't think it's evidence that you're carrying a weapon at any given time.
Well, I'll say, well, I'm a carpenter by trade, so I always carry a little DeWalt box cutter, little utility knife on me. Mm-hmm. Always, no matter what I do. Dude, I've walked into so many places with that thing and not even realized it, and no one even gives a shit. I've walked into concerts, I've walked into everywhere. It's just there.
Sinatra. Thank you. It was a mistake. It was an accident.
When I was a delivery driver, and I live right near a base, so sometimes I'd be delivering to the fucking military. Mm-hmm. I had a fucking.
Wait! Rewind and freeze. Canada has a military.
It's to protect their maple syrup supplies.
I carried a fucking knife. So
it's just a mouse.
It's a moose in a canoe, right? That's your name, moose in a canoe.
Just a mounty outpost. Dudley douchebag, bro.
I can see having a small blade on you. I mean, it's, again, stupid to carry one through a fucking airport, but it doesn't mean you're carrying a fucking weapon.
Well, I mean, yes, I actually did accidentally carry a weapon onto a military installation once. That was an awkward day for me.
They probably just saw a balding white guy and they're like, "Fuck, Unabomber 2."
No, I was attached to that base, and I showed up after going to the range after the armory had already closed. So they turned me around and made me leave. And it's like, we're gonna search your car again when you come back. If you come back outside of armory hours, so find something to do with them. So I call up a buddy. It's like, hey, I'm gonna leave a bunch of guns in your living room, and this is in Washington State.
That's not suspicious at all.
That was awkward. That was awkward. Yeah. His wife was super anti-gun, and I was never invited to their house again after I came out with my guns.
What a shitty friend.
Yeah, that's crap.
Correction, I was never invited while she was home.
Oh, okay.
There you go. That's better.
Because she thought I was going to bring an assault rifle in the house. I was like, it's semi-automatic. Yes, it's an AK-47, but it's semi-automatic.
At least it's better than dropping the guns off without telling your friend. Just walk into a house, leave the guns, walk away.
They have a good security system. I wouldn't have pulled that off.
Dude, my brother and his girlfriend bought a house together, and the guy who owned the house before them was a competition shooter. And I guess he died, and the son didn't do a really good job cleaning out the house. My brother found 3 boxes filled with a bunch of 22 handguns and rifles and homemade ammo. Like,
whoa.
Like, I mean boxes like shipping crates. Like the big Tupperware crates.
Yeah.
They were just like, yeah,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is nice now.
Nice.
So I want to go back to the knife once more. You said that it was an accident that you brought it with you, or you did it on purpose for
One
the
moment. If we're going back to the crazy hair shit, I'd like to ask a quick question.
Go for it, Schmeckle.
How's the effect on like your social media been? Like your channel, your Twitter?
Are you honestly asking?
Obviously, you got all those weird fucking calls and shit, but
Yeah, like for ever since that stream happened, my phone has been on silent. It's been a bitch because
are
it
you
means
still getting those calls?
yes, not as often as in the beginning, but like for days, my phone did not stop ringing at all times of the night, which is why I had to put it on silent. It's still on silent because once in a while, at God knows what time, my phone does ring. And whenever it says a private or an unknown call, I don't answer it. Which is like,
wait. Back up just a bit. Ever since VidCon, you've been getting all these crazy
not
phone
VidCon,
calls from
ever since the stream. Ever since the stream.
When she got her
So that
first
means-
call, which was, I think the person said, this is Jeff.
No, it was the call before that. It was the call
Okay.
before that I answered, and the person told me to change my number and check my security.
Oh my gosh, that's freaky.
Yeah, it was freaky.
Hey, it's our favorite Cuban. How you doing, my dude?
There's a Cuban here. I gotta go, guys.
You
Later,
kidding me?
Snap.
I'm trying to get the cigar hookup before we kick him. Come on.
True.
But no, going back to the knife thing, because like for me, I've flown a couple times and I've had to leave my pocket knife at home because I do carry a knife around with me because of the area around here. So that there's a big difference between carrying like a full-blown pocket knife, and I have a pretty good sized one. I don't like flash it; it stays in my pouch. But there's a difference between carrying that around and an X-Acto knife or a craft knife, because I have a set of those, just not with me. But there is a difference.
I guess that was the part that caught me, because every time I've ever had to fly, and admittedly I haven't had to fly in a while, I've always double and triple checked my purse for anything that the TSA might deem not allowed. Like down to lip glosses and everything else.
And I get that,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
would have totally done that. And I mean, I wish it wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning, and maybe like my boyfriend could be awake. But I almost missed my flight.
Oh, shit.
And so like I barely had time to zip up my suitcases before I got on that plane, and like I barely had time to go through my purse, so I just threw all that shit in there and like went through security. And keep in mind, like the security were being
Say
really
something earlier about it being like a challenge.
like the security like the people going through security just behind me were getting the worst treatment. Like there were this old couple, they were from Toronto, they came for like
They were
vacation on
from
Prince
Toronto.
Edward
They
Island.
fucking deserved it.
Frenchie, and they like
Oh, whoa! What the fuck was that?
Damn. Shots
Fuck
fired.
Hey,
So, like,
you know what?
the
Samaj,
TSA
shoot this gun. You know what it means.
What?
Fucking French.
What is happening here?
Schmeckle just got called French, and apparently he's now triggered.
This is the most offended I've ever been on the internet.
And look, Samaj is here to make you feel better too.
Look, you
oh,
know,
my husband. So
My bad.
these guys behind me, like the security guys were making them pull the Prince Edward Island jam that they had, the Prince Edward Island like butter knives that they bought, like everything. So I thought like, yeah, it's no problem with me, like whatever. And I'm like going through security, no problem. And then when I'm organizing my purse, I find this crafting knife. I'm like, oh well. Like, wow, if Prince Edward Island, that's like super fucking anal, like halfway up your ass security, didn't find this, I thought wow, I read those articles about how like the TSA misses 80%. I wonder if I can test that theory. And some of you might think like, yeah, that was stupid. But all I was thinking was like, oh, I have an opportunity to test this theory. I'm going to leave the crafting knife exactly where it is.
And
I'm
don't
gonna go
care
through and
how
see.
much you say we might be thinking it's stupid. That doesn't invalidate the fact that we're thinking it's stupid.
Yeah, I understand that.
I'm sorry. That's
an awful decision.
insanity.
Yeah, and I think it's the wording that gets people. It's like, it's a theory I was testing. It's like, some of us are like, yeah.
No, testing a theory would be like throwing a cheesy line at Ren. That would be testing a theory. walking into an airport with a blade. That's not testing a theory. That's testing
the law.
The American.
Let's see, am I going to quit prison today?
I feel like the way that you're putting that together, like that's like deceiving. I didn't walk into an airport to test the theory. I was already
okay. But the reason you have the knife and not disposing of it.
Oh, we're not attacking you, Crazy Hair. We're just.
I know, but I was already in the airport. I was already in the fucking airport.
It doesn't change
Either
the
Samaj
fact.
or Sinatra is trying to speak.
It's
wait,
Samaj.
Sinatra. Everybody else, shut the fuck up. Sinatra, go ahead.
I'm not trying to say anything.
It was Samaj.
Oh,
Take
never
their
mind.
voices.
Everybody else.
Samaj, you sound like you're a mile away from your mic.
Samaj does not sound like me. Don't ever say that he does.
Thank you.
Whoever it was sounded like a mile away from their mic, and I'm hearing them trying to speak at the same time.
It was Samaj.
Guys, I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know what the fuck you're all talking about.
Samaj, put your face closer.
Samaj, restart your potato.
All right, shut the fuck up. Look, all right, I'm taking a moment out of my vacation here to give you guys a little bit of advice. This stream is brought to you by 10 gigs. 10 gigs. Go fuck yourself.
There we go. Now Samaj is gonna leave. That's all he came in for.
Okay. Yeah, isn't all the other
Hey,
guys supposed to
guys.
stay in the corner?
Hey, failure.
Hey, so I feel like I missed out on a few things. We're talking about knives and stuff, but I wanted to ask what happened with the Dieter stuff before. What was said?
I already said my piece on that, and if you need to hear it, you can go to my my post about it.
Okay, well, let me just share my viewpoint of it. I feel like you were in a bad space because of a previous incident that you had with the man, where he refused to give you his room key.
Were you there? Were you there?
Yeah, I was sitting right next to Dieter.
Were you there on the 3 different incidences where he was super rude to smaller
No,
YouTubers?
but I was there.
Were you there? You were not
Are you
there.
gonna let me speak? Are you gonna let me speak?
What I'm saying is that you were not there. I witnessed what I witnessed, and you can sit here and say things all you want. You weren't there.
Crazy. Can I speak? I've been
There,
polite.
speak,
We can either have a back.
The name is Naomi. The name is Naomi.
Let
Naomi.
failure speak.
I will let
please.
him speak now. Yes.
Okay. I was not there in those other incidents you mentioned. I was there in that moment where you accused him of harassing you, and that was not what happened.
I never accused him of harassing me. Never happened.
Caressing.
He caressed my shoulder. He did not
He
caress
did-
me. He specifically caressed my shoulder.
Your shoulder.
That's
is-
not caressing, though.
would be part of you. But
He touched my
Oh.
shoulder with an open palm and refused to let go even when I tried to wiggle away.
And
Oh,
I'm
okay.
telling you,
Well,
I'm
that's-
telling you, wait, crazy. I'll tell you from my viewpoint.
Naomi,
that's not what
Naomi,
happened.
Naomi,
Okay,
Naomi, Naomi.
All right.
Oh, okay, Naomi, let's hear Failure's account of the situation.
Naomi, I'm telling you from my viewpoint that was not what happened. Previously, from Dieter touching you, I asked somebody to tap you on the shoulder. They tapped you on the shoulder, asked you about the t-shirts. That was that. Then the Dieter thing happened. He tapped you on the shoulder. You freaked out on him. Why?
That's not how it
Because-
happened. That's not how it
Nope.
happened. Nope,
Okay.
that's not how it happened.
How
And
did
you
it
can
happen?
You call me a liar then?
you can rewrite history however you
Wait,
want.
Wait. Naomi, you're calling me a liar then.
I'm saying that you, from wherever you were sitting, because I don't remember where you were sitting, you could have been sitting halfway across the hall from all I
You don't
care.
remember that. You don't
wanna
remember
cut
that.
me off?
Even though I
You want
was
to cut
sitting.
me off? You want to cut me off? That's very nice of you. That's very nice of you.
Okay,
You're on
Naomi,
a-
you've been
you're
cutting
on a
him off, so
conspiracy,
you're
that's
gonna have
how
to
it
let
works.
him speak at least.
Okay, but if he's going to say something and then wait for me to say 2 sentences and then cut me off, it's not going to work like that.
Yeah, you just gotta speak louder than him. You're on a con stream. Your host started this drunk. You just gotta go.
So
Be loud.
there's 2 things. Is that your perception is completely valid. You know what? You're entitled to whatever it is that you think that you saw. On the other hand, I know what happened to my fucking shoulder. It was touched with an open palm. I tried to wiggle away from it. The palm did not leave my fucking shoulder, at which point I had to turn around and escalate it to saying, "Don't fucking touch me."
But let me just point this out.
Let me just ask real quick. Where was I sitting?
I don't know. You could have been sitting on halfway across the hall at that time. I don't know. I wasn't keeping tabs on people.
I was not. I was sitting right next to him.
I don't know.
Let me just say this pretty please. The difference between caressing and an open palm is caressing is when someone's actually petting or stroking you. An open palm, yes, sometimes can be uncomfortable for people, but an open palm is not caressing. And from what it sounds like with Dieter, because I heard a little bit about that situation, is you getting a little bit squirrely with whoever you were talking to, and Dieter was trying to get you to chill, from what I understand. But an open palm does not mean someone is caressing you. Caressing is when the hands moving up and down.
Think worst case scenario, what happened was maybe he put his open palm on her. Maybe he stroked a little. You know, like maybe it wasn't so much a tap; it was a rub on the shoulder to calm down.
Michael, may I speak?
1 second. Let me finish this point before I forget it. But I still think it amounts to, you know, at the worst, somebody complaining about something that wasn't a big issue and nobody getting in trouble for it. Go ahead, Failure.
From my viewpoint, sitting next to Dieter, I saw him trying to get her attention, and she totally spazzed out because of previous incidents. Meanwhile, she has inappropriately touched people that week, like Mundane Matt, which you can see in her 50-minute long video, where she sped it up and she had her hand on his shoulder.
What?
Way worse than what? Just go watch the video. The 50-minute video. There's a clip of her.
You're breaking up there, Failure.
You're dying.
What?
You're
dying.
You need to hit F5 or something.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, what it comes down to for me is basically Crazy Hair. I think you probably did overstep quite a few boundaries, especially with the whole recording thing. But outside of that, maybe you recorded or overstepped a bunch of boundaries. But
I'm back real quick. Naomi, I just want to ask real quick, do you think that you may have overreacted because of previous incidents with Dieter?
I know that I was uncomfortable with him having his open palm on my shoulder. I shifted away. He did not remove his palm, at which point I told him to get his palm off of me. And that's all I know, and that's how I feel. And
So
I also know, don't cut me off, and I also know that I witnessed what I witnessed with him behaving completely differently in the presence and the absence of people with larger subcounts. And that's all I have to say.
I'm just talking about that moment right there.
Yeah,
I'm talking about all of it.
And I know you're talking about all of it. I'm talking about in that moment.
And I already commented on that moment. He had his open palm on my shoulder. I felt uncomfortable. I tried to shift away. His open palm would not leave my shoulder.
Would you?
I told him to get off of me.
On your shoulder.
So yes or no? Do you think you overreacted?
I did what I would have done to pretty much anybody in that situation, regardless of their attitude or personality. If you are touching me and I feel uncomfortable and I try to shift away from you actively and you do not remove your hand, you continue to follow my shifting with your arm, I'm going to tell you to stop touching me.
Okay. Fair enough.
Naomi, I'm telling you that I did not see that happen, and I'm asking if it's possible that you may have put in your head that it was much longer than it was. Because as from my viewpoint, what I saw happen, he tapped you on the shoulder. It was an instant.
There was no
around.
tapping. There was no tapping. He made contact with my
Okay,
shoulder for an extensive period of time.
Wait. You like yelling at people, telling them, stop interrupting me when I'm talking. Stop interrupting me while I'm talking. But meanwhile, you interrupt
Do you
me.
hear the way that you're imitating me? Do you hear the way the way that
Do you
you're
hear how
imitating me?
do you
That was a
hear
little
how you-
childish, but at
No,
the
no,
same
That was
no, no, no,
very
no, no, no,
childish.
Wait,
That was very childish.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys.
Children.
valid point.
I'm just saying that you don't like people interrupting you when you're
You're not
speaking.
just saying.
I mean-
You're imitating me in a very childish way, and then you're saying.
Okay. You don't like people interrupting you when you're speaking, but you freely do it to other people.
Ladies, you're all beautiful.
Thanks.
Especially failure. God damn.
No, she's being a fucking cunt. That's how I feel about it.
And it's a
Okay.
cunt stream.
Like I
Welcome to the
said,
cunt stream. Ah!
The voice was a little immature, but the point was entirely valid. You can't complain about people cutting you off if you're going to do the exact same.
But you
Yeah,
can't
but the
invalidate
way
You're a
that it
victim.
was done,
You're a
I
fucking
don't
victim.
fucking imitate you in a way that's condescending and mean. So
Oh,
don't do the
okay,
same to me.
so-
Can we initiate Tanga?
Again, as you said moments again, welcome to the country.
Yep.
Anyway, so here's my question. That video where you've got, I don't know what the exact runtime is. I would ballpark it about 30 seconds. You've got your hand on Matt's shoulder. In what way is it okay for you to call Dieter out for whether he tapped or touched your shoulder is immaterial?
Or correct.
Or caressed. I mean, it was your shoulder and you had your hand on his chest. Where does it the self-reflection land?
From what I saw, I had my
From what you saw, you don't just remember.
You don't remember having your hand right here on Monday and Matt for like a minimum 30 seconds.
That's something I'd remember if I had my hand. on Monday
send me
Matt.
the video because from what
It's in
from
your
what I
damn
saw-
video.
It's not.
You
in
can't
my
play
video.
that card. You
I'm
can't
not-
play
it's
that
not in
card.
my
It's in
video.
your damn
It's not
video.
in my
It is. I'll pull it up right now. I'll pull it up right now and screen share it if you
It's not
want.
in my
me to.
video. I have
Okay,
my
I'll pull it up then.
Do it,
All right,
Philly.
fuck you then. I'll pull it up.
I have my elbow on his shoulder. Is that what you mean?
I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up so you can see.
Elbow on shoulder is very different from hand on chest. I haven't seen this video, so I'm interested.
You say, I saw it on Failure's stream of your video. That's
Okay,
how I know
I
it's a
got it.
thing.
I got it up right now. Hold on.
Can we
Let me
all
just
take a
screen share.
moment and recognize how shitty the Prime Day deals are so far?
Yeah, they aren't that good. I've been looking,
Here we go.
hoping to find something, good in electronics. I mean,
Elbow.
there's really nothing.
All right,
Yeah, so you
there's-
say you're like under his chest there with that. Like I wish I had. I wish we had draw
Hand
installed.
on chest. That's his fucking shoulder.
Well,
No,
that's
no.
it's shoulder and coming
A
down.
little bit.
Going. Keep playing it. Keep playing it.
No, what happened to the elbow on the?
Press play. Keep playing it.
No, I would like to
No, no.
see how long it went on for.
No, wait. Just address.
Yeah, keep playing it.
Wait.
Yeah, press play.
Just
Keep playing it.
Just address
Press-
Raph.
press play.
Well, how
Press
is this
play.
any different? How is
Play
this
the
any
video.
different?
Press
No,
play.
You're saying
before we address it, I
my
would
question.
like
My
how
question
long
remains:
it went
where's
on.
the self-reflection?
Why does Sargon look so happy right there?
Because he's fucking dying of laughter. That's why. Because he was loving that shit.
And
By the
Chris
way,
Gorski
does
looks-
anyone
Because
else feel
Anita Sarkeesian gave him attention?
feel
Oh, that's when
it's
that
really
happened?
weird to look at Sargon and attach a British
Oh, wait.
voice to that?
This
I
is-
just imagine the
wait,
guy
Yeah,
from.
no. Keep
Home
it at normal speed. Keep it at normal speed. Don't speed it up.
Well,
Don't
yours
go
is-
half time.
Your footage is
saw
sped
you.
up.
Your
I
your
saw
footage is
you.
sped up.
Your footage is
I saw
sped
you at
up.
normal.
Crazy.
Your
Crazy.
footage
normal.
is sped up.
Like if
No,
we
you-
turn on the
No.
audio, your footage is
Man,
sped
I'm
up.
about to just go watch this shit myself. Failure's taking forever.
All right.
Yeah,
Look, I'll play it. I'll
but
play it
it's
at
set to
normal.
normal.
Look how
That's
sped up it is.
normal.
Look how sped up. Look how sped up it is.
Yeah.
That's not
Hand
normal.
hand on shoulder.
No,
okay.
Yeah,
Naomi,
but look how
Naomi,
sped up the
Throwing.
footage
Keep
is.
going. Don't pause it. Keep press play.
Naomi.
No, don't say Naomi. Press fucking play.
Naomi,
Keep-
your
Naomi,
video
you're being
is
disingenuous.
That's why
Naomi,
they were trying to slow it down.
Naomi,
I'm
you're
gonna
being
side with her.
disingenuous.
let's
sped
see
it
it
up.
start to finish. Let's see how long it is.
I'll play it start
Obviously,
to
it's a
finish.
sped up clip on her end too. So setting it at normal speed. Obviously, it's
Okay,
And look at Matt's expression. That is
Yeah,
not
no,
a.
that's
I'm enjoying
extended.
this.
and it goes back.
And
That
there's
See,
the elbow
there's
that
the
I was
elbow
talking about.
later.
And
But
Naomi,
that's the elbow that I remember.
yes, but we're
And
trying to
here's the
explain to
thing.
you. Wait,
Here's the
Naomi,
thing.
Naomi, I'm speaking right
Oh,
now.
you
I'm
want me?
speaking,
You want me? You want a response? Then you're
Let him
speaking.
speak.
Naomi, will you let me speak, please, or no?
Wrath, take charge of this shit. I gotta smoke.
All
I
right.
fucking I thought I was still watching the YouTube video and I accidentally clicked off the Hangout link. Okay, so I watched through because failure just takes forever to do anything, and it was kind of elbow. There was a little elbow going on there.
Well, the elbow was after. The hand was there, and the footage is clearly sped up. You can tell because no one's mouth moves that fast.
Yes, but at the same time,
Have
if
you ever seen Ben Shapiro
Monday
speak?
Matt's face, Monday Matt is not uncomfortable in any way.
Well,
Monday Matt just looks uncomfortable.
that is not an
It's like-
enthusiastic expression.
Well, I mean, Monday Matt looks as uncomfortable as Monday Matt usually looks, but no more than that.
But
Yeah, he looks
Can
just
I-
as
can I
uncomfortable as
just
he
say-
looks like
can I
getting
just
out of bed
say-
in the morning and shit.
Exactly.
Can I just
Guys.
say, she went through a process of editing this 50-minute video, and she's like, "Nope, that doesn't exist." Okay, I'll show you your hand on his shoulder. All right, for an extended time. Oh, okay. Just play it normal. No, wait. We're trying to show that it's sped up. So let me slow it down so it could be a more normal pace to show a real depiction of what the time was passing by. Oh no, why are you slowing it down? Why are you slowing down? Just play it. Just play it. Just play it. Just play it. And meanwhile, you're not letting me explain why I'm slowing it down because you sped up the footage. Your hand was there for a longer time. Look, all I'm
No,
saying
I'd
is,
be
Actually, have to,
wait. Let me just finish. Let me
Or
just
why you
finish.
slow
Let me
it
just
down
finish.
because it was
Just
already
Guys, let failure
Right, cool.
finish.
I'll finish with this last part. You're really throwing a guy under the bus that went out of his way. When people were really slamming against you, he was actually on your side. He was like, "There's no proof of evidence that she did anything," and meanwhile, you throw him under the bus for something he didn't do.
Yeah,
So
watch
what
that
you're
video.
saying?
He
So
said
what
it
you're saying,
never-
and I waited patiently for you to be done. So what
Thank
you're
you.
saying is that just because somebody saw through the bullshit that was being flung at me, I should change what actually happened in order to confirm to what they're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Just saying, if there's only one person on your side, you may not
There
want to
isn't
kick
one
him under
person
the
on my
bus.
side.
He
There's
was
not
on
one
your side
person
until
on
you
my
threw him
side.
under the bus.
I threw nobody under the bus. Just because I
You called
say
him a liar.
Just because I say what I saw does not mean I'm kicking anybody under the
Now,
bus.
crazy. Here's my problem with that.
Naomi.
Whatever.
Oh, why
You
is
told us not to.
if you're unwilling to be referred to as that?
Okay, fine, Naomi. Pardon me.
Why not just
you-
make your YouTube page?
Shreck, let me
Naomi?
fucking talk, dude.
I'm sorry. That really, it's been bothering me
It's
all
an
night.
annoying idiosyncrasy, but moving on. Why is it that we're supposed to trust you when you didn't remember your hand being on his shoulder about twice as long as your elbow was? Like, why should I now trust you?
You can.
You're not setting yourself in a good position to come off as trustworthy.
What's your name? What would you like to be referred to? Wrath or Wrath? Okay. I'm not
call
here.
him James. Call him his real name. That's what he wants.
James.
That's not my name.
Call him
Whatever.
Steven.
Prosciutto.
I
can
do identify
believe-
as a god.
No,
You can
I prefer hers. Prosciutto.
Prosciutto,
You can
sure.
believe whatever you want, Prosciutto. I know what
Lasagna.
happened. I
Well,
know
I'm-
what I saw. I know what I felt. And if you don't want to, get with the program, that's cool. If you want to believe whatever you want to believe, that's cool. You're a free person in a free world.
I
And
straight up
that's
thought
it.
he was.
Clearly have not seen a cunt stream before.
Wait a minute. No.
Prosciutto, he's not a free person at all. He's my slave.
Yeah, I am.
Anyway,
This was for his pleasure.
Hey, there's something I need to touch upon real quick. Crazier, and this is nothing to you, but just because you felt a certain way does not mean it's accurate. Because of prior experiences you've had with this person, how should I say, protective senses kicked in. So it sounds like you may have overreacted. I wasn't there. I've just been listening. I've been mainly quiet here. But just because you felt something and took something a certain way does not mean that's how it actually happened. And I say this as a past trauma survivor, past child abuse survivor, or whatnot, or victim. So just because you perceive something due to a past experience doesn't mean that's how it's going to go down. I mean, if that makes sense.
I acknowledge that. However, I know what I remember. And at that time, in that panel, I was not drinking. I was completely sober. Unlike the event that happened on Friday where I was drinking and I was tipsy. At that panel, I remember what happened, and I'm going to stand by it.
Naomi, real quick, she did address that you had a past dealings with this person, so maybe your emotions may have
who is the
put you
person
in a
we're
different
talking
place.
about?
Oh, what was the past grievance?
I saw him on 3 separate occasions be very different to smaller YouTubers in the presence of larger YouTubers versus when those people weren't around.
She's basically calling him a kiss ass.
Okay. Well, I don't know the guy well enough to.
I mean, the only other person who was at the event is Failure, and I don't know how much time Failure spent.
Failure. Andy Worski was also there.
Well, I mean, who's
no,
present in the hangout?
Andy Worski was not there on the 3 separate occasions that I witnessed him.
No. Andy Worski was there on the quote unquote caress, and you used that word. You used that word in that moment.
Now, yes, because somebody who is touching me for a long extent of time and will not move his hand even when I try to shift away from them, yes, I consider that a caress.
Whoa.
Real quick.
Always
let's say there was. Wait. Let's say there was video of it, right? Where you were in the audience watching, and you saw something that wasn't a caress. How would you feel if somebody was telling you, "Oh, it was a caress"?
You know what? Bring me footage. You know what? You know what I would absolutely love? You know what I would absolutely love? Mr. Failure wouldn't tell anybody what his actual name was during VidCon. Failure, dude.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Don't you know about the fucking whole anonymous fucking shit? Like, let people have their fucking own identities. Gene Simmons doesn't have to fucking, tell his fucking real name. I understand
Gene
you want to be
Simmons should
personal.
absolutely have to tell his real name.
I understand you want to be personal with people. I didn't want to know that Vernacular's name was fucking Justin. I'm fucking perfectly fine.
I didn't want to know that.
I don't need to call Carl Benjamin. Say Carl Benjamin's Twitter. No, it's Stargon's Twitter. So stop trying to be so fucking personal with people.
Vernaculous's name is fucking Justin.
I know, it ruined my life too.
People have anonymity for a
anonymous.
Yeah, they remain anonymous for a specific reason. They're protecting their families. They're protecting their own actual work. Their jobs. They're protecting themselves. So
hey, Tiki Bomber, before you get all mad at me,
I'm not mad at you. I'm just letting you know. Don't get mad at other people wanting to.
Before you get upset, before you get emotional,
I'm not.
The name that Justin Little put on his fucking pass.
And you
VidCon
to give the full
was
name.
that.
So here's
right on your pass that displays to everybody that is at the location is the name that you're like, whatever.
Yeah, but
like
that was
I didn't write anything on my pass.
Now here's the thing with that.
You did not need to say his full name just now. That was
what
exactly.
Everybody at VidCon saw it on his pass. Okay, everybody's going to start
but here's the thing.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that most of our viewers and everybody here except you and Failure did not see those passes.
Not to mention, I don't go reading everyone's passes.
I know
There's
everything
pictures
about
with
everything.
those passes. They're all over the fucking internet.
Yeah, are they like? Are they
Yes,
like
it does.
Above his
Patties.
past? Is his past the focus
we
of the
all
photo?
have the chance. We all currently have the chance to go and grab your name and phone number.
Yeah, my
And see,
name is
none of us
Naomi
have done it.
Robbins. My name is Naomi Robbins. It's very clearly on Twitter in the exact same way that if I wanted everybody at VidCon to know that
Yes,
my name
but-
was Naomi Robbins, I would have put it on my pass, but I didn't. I didn't put
We could all go
anything on
get
my
your
pass.
phone number like other people have. And
Yes,
have
and
it.
a lot of the
That
other
would be
people
a
have gotten my
petty
phone
fucking
number.
thing to do.
Okay,
What?
but I'm telling you, these people choose to remain anonymous online for specific reasons.
No,
what happens
no,
online
you
and
don't.
offline can be two different things.
Tiki,
No,
Tiki, let me just
VidCon-
say, as far as why did you have to bring up my name and that of the fact that I didn't want anybody to have my name?
Because you ran around being an absolute weirdo at VidCon, everybody being like, hey, what's Failure's name so we can talk to him like a human being, and people like being like, I don't know, he doesn't want to tell
Failure.
anyone.
Wait. You can't just say failure?
You say, is that a hard word to pronounce? I don't know Canadian
It's
vernacular.
not like
very
he's
well.
asking for Z or Zer. He's just asking you to call him by the name you already know him as.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to call a human being by a unknown.
Do you understand? Do you understand what we do? Do you
Okay.
understand?
Wait. So you don't know anyone that has a
guys,
nickname that they
guys,
use more than their name.
Guys, do you understand what we do?
No, I'm
Wait.
sorry. I'd like to clarify.
I'm asking
If I could
Naomi.
see Failure face to face and just call him Failure the whole time, that would be fun for me.
Mhm.
That's fine, Schmeckle.
Naomi.
That's fine.
Naomi, do you understand what we do?
We make videos on the fucking internet, and it means nothing.
And
Actually, yes, it
but
does.
To a lot of
It
people,
does
it
mean
does.
something.
To
No,
a lot of people, they make
Chambers-
money off of these videos.
No, Chambers made a different ones. I don't think the rest of us have, but Chambers has actually managed.
Yeah, Chambers has made a difference. I would argue that Failure's made a difference. I mean, he's been involved in a few different fundraisers,
Oh well, yeah, the fundraisers and stuff. But I mean, Chambers is
as has Ren.
stands out as somebody who's fucking like made a big difference through YouTube.
Well, I mean, we're not exactly fucking the Young Turks, but I'm fine with not being them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for some of us, like, if
I
I
call
ever got
Chang.
doxxed, I wouldn't care. But at the same point, the reason I use Ren online is for my kids. I wouldn't want my real name necessarily getting out.
Ren, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
If you went to VidCon, would you write your real name on your pass that everybody walking by you could see?
No, I'd have Ren on it.
I didn't think so. Because if you
I'd
don't
write
give a
my
shit,
name.
you wouldn't write your
Block
fucking name on a pass that everybody could see and everybody took pictures with.
But
Tanga.
it's also a fact of everyone I talk to online, I don't know them by their real names. I know Samaj and Schmeckle and Wrath by their online handles.
Yeah.
So that's
My
kind
name's
of how it is for
Jason.
people.
Nice to meet you.
But,
Yeah, nice
know-
meeting you, Mr.
know-
Voorhees.
You know what I heard
I'm
people
Freddy.
calling Sargon when they talk to him? Sargon. Why? Because we're there to.
And it's
Yeah.
part
I've
of that
actually
habit.
gone to I'm going to clear up some air here. I've gone to conventions before, and there are times where you cannot use your online name to protect yourself on your pass. You have to use your real name because of identification purposes to make sure that the person who's getting the pass is the actual person that's supposed to get the pass, not somebody who wasn't supposed to get it.
Let me clarify.
That
At this
wasn't the case at
convention,
VidCon.
At this specific convention, they give you a Sharpie, they give you your pass. You choose whether or not you want to write sparkly pony on your pass or write nothing on your pass, which was the case with me. I wrote nothing on my pass.
Oh, this one had the opportunity to write Schmeckle and didn't. This is why I'm pissed about VidCon, crazy hair.
Why?
Next time
Next time I'll write Schmeckle on it.
We'll just write each other's names.
No, next time we should all
Dibs on
write
Sinatra. I want people to like me.
Real quick.
Gorilla
Schmeckle-
face, you're
Schmeckle,
roboting.
You're roboting, yeah. But the thing about my name doesn't matter. Like, it seems to have been a problem with you, but nobody else had a problem with it. There's some people I did tell my name to. but for the most part, people like Base Mama were Base Mama to me. People like, Andy Worski were Andy Worski to me. That's not his real name. Am I going to spill his real name out there just because you want us to be quote unquote human?
See, and that's the thing too. I have people who know me by my real name online, but still refer to me as Chambers because that's just my online handle. So to me, it's not a big deal because I know Base Mama's real name, but out of respect and because of her handle, she's known as Base Mama to me. I'm not gonna call her by her real name because first off, she probably doesn't want me to. Second of all, I know her as Base Mama. That's.
And that's fine. Base Mama did not go around VidCon. Base Mama did not go around VidCon being like, "This is my name." She did not write it on her pass, being like, "This is my name. Take pictures with me while my name is displayed." The thing is, by the way, dude, I have friends in Mississauga that went to school with quote unquote Andy Worski. I have friends that went to school. I have friends that went to school with quote unquote Chris Worski. And you think that I've used that as oh my god, I know what your guys' name is. No, because I don't give a shit.
Then why are you making it into a big deal?
Because he actively went around being like, I'm not telling anyone my name. You can call
then
me
you
failure.
obviously give a shit. If you don't give a shit, you
weird.
brought it up. But you clearly
Hold on. Hey, Crazy Hair, hold on. Crazy Hair, let me explain something real quick.
Naomi.
Hold on, wait, let me finish, please.
Wait. I have to interrupt. Naomi, please explain why we can't call you Crazy Hair when that's your handle.
Because you know my name. My name is Naomi. I live in Prince Edward Island. I live here. I do shit. I'm an existence. I'm a person.
And this is how you get people hacking your information by putting it all out on the internet.
It's not even that. It's just the thing that pops up is at the bottom is Crazy Hair. So that's what I remember.
Exactly.
Do you want me to go in now and change it?
No. Okay.
If you want me to call you Naomi, it would
so that people will call me Naomi. Is that what's important right now?
Okay. Let me explain something, guys. Everybody, shut up for 5 minutes. Let me explain something crazy, Naomi. The reason why people stick to online pseudonyms or personas is because if you've been living underneath a rock, you need to really look around as to what the hell's been going on for the past year or so. It's gotten crazy. People have gotten fired from their jobs. People have gotten threatened in their work. So a lot of people, especially the skeptic community, keep to synonyms because if their information could get out, that it's harassment to friends, family, work. Some employers are very particular about who they hire nowadays with inclusivity and diversity. I mean, look what happened with Lacey Green. As soon as Lacey Green started communicating with people from the anti-SJW community, she had her family harassed. She was doxxed. Her information got leaked everywhere.
So the fact that I'm asking for people to refer to me with my name is some kind of a crazy conspiracy theory?
Wait, no. Let me no. What I'm saying is the reason why some people at VidCon like Failure decided to use his online handle and keep it. That's because number one, that's what he's known by, and number two, he probably didn't want God and everybody else to get a hold of his personal info because there's some nutters always at conventions, and the wrong person can get a hold of it. And that's very dangerous nowadays.
Chambers is speaking about other people not using their real names, not you wanting us to use your real names.
Well, let's go to step one. My name is Naomi. You can refer to me as Naomi. If you don't know me, refer to me as whatever the fuck you want. But you guys are on a stream with me. Naomi, it's just fine.
Yes, you'll just have to understand you're on a midweek cunt stream, so I don't care.
This is an early week cunt stream. It's not even. We didn't even make it to midweek before we did this shit.
Oh, what day is it?
It's Monday.
Tuesday.
Oh fuck.
It's Tuesday.
Well, I mean, it's Tuesday in some.
It's Monday
in some
for me
time
still.
zones.
Still my birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday! Happy birthday!
Thank you.
Happy birthday!
Oh yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
Wilmer's birthday, and she doesn't want anybody to tell.
Don't let Twitter know.
I already tweeted it.
Yo, Twitter! I got the secret for you. Is that not how we do it, Twitter? Isn't that how we do it?
I had a great harem going on here before Failure showed up.
But
Hey,
one
you
of the
mean
things
before
real
Failure
quick
showed
is-
up and Wrath opened his mouth?
It was not. It was not supposed to be a multicultural harem.
Okay, we agreed. They're in the corner. So you have the harem. They're in the corner.
Yeah.
one of the two things
Which
real
is
quick
why you
is,
can't see me
Failure.
below the
Swatting-
ribs.
You guys help
Swatting-
each other out.
Swatting is interesting. Swatting's
Oh, yeah.
also a worry. It happened
Yeah.
to Mundane Matt in the past. So that's also a concern. You don't want your fucking information out there.
Yeah,
sometimes.
a
The
friend of
second
ours.
thing is, wait,
Sorry,
let
go
me add two things. Second thing is, look, there's guys like Bunty King. Nobody had a problem with Bunty. Like nobody was asking Bunty, what's your Indian name? No, just call him.
Wait,
Bunty
wait,
King.
wait, wait, wait,
Chris
wait, wait,
Reagan.
wait.
Chris Reagan. Nobody had a problem with Chris Reagan. Everybody just
Well,
called him.
everybody knows Chris Reagan's name,
Yeah,
but
if you didn't, you
Bunty
just call him
also
Chris.
went without revealing his name.
Apparently.
Because if Bunty did that, what the fuck's the complaint about Failure?
Because
Bunty-
we
And then
here's
Bunty-
let me explain.
Bunty
Let me
has a
explain
bigger
what my
beard.
problem
Speak,
is.
guys,
Let me
let her
explain what
speak.
my problem is. We I don't know about you. I was born British. I was raised British. I immigrated to Canada. English words are important to me. When somebody says to me, "My name is Failure," I say, "Well, I guess I'm not going to refer to you because I don't feel comfortable calling somebody a negative thing."
Jesus fucking Christ, I'm Canadian, and like I said, I would love to stare Failure in the eyes and call him a failure.
That would actually kind of make my day.
It would be the best part of VidCon. Walking
I'd have
up
to
Failure
tiptoe
and going,
when
"Hey,
I'm doing
Failure, how are you?
I'd be like,
How the fuck you doing,
failure.
Failure?"
Do you feel accomplished in your life? I would do that because I'm that lame.
I'm sorry, you had full permission to just stare this cubic cunt in the eye and call him Failure. Why the fuck would you turn that down?
I was gonna say that to me is like the opportunity lost.
Yeah, but look, it's my choice to call myself that. You don't have the right to.
I have the right
me-
to be uncomfortable with
You
calling
better not
somebody
tell me I
failure.
don't have
Yes,
the right
I
to
do.
Or you,
Okay, but-
you just don't call me failure. Then just don't call me.
Which is
anything.
exactly why I didn't refer to you the entire VidCon by
Well-
anything.
Then call him by his real name, probably like Carlos or something.
That's
Which is-
racist.
Which is why I had
Okay,
asked.
Schmeckle, it's
yesterday-
Jose and you know it.
No, just call him that Cuban.
But why? Why is
That-
this
Which is
strange?
why
That
like,
Cuban with an
nobody,
opinion.
nobody will be able to say that I referred to him by anything except nothing. I was just like,
Well, that's
Hey,
almost
where's
more
the
insulting,
Yeah,
other-
because
isn't it?
nothing is better than being failure.
Yeah, it's gonna.
It is his online handle. Clearly, he's okay with everyone saying, "Hey, failure."
I'm not okay with it. It doesn't matter.
Why-
I'm not okay with it.
Then just call him Fidel. He's Cuban. It's fine.
I feel like people are a little too bothered by this. But to be fair, it did all spring from her being bothered by him not giving his real name, Carlos Fidel.
Castro terminated. Oh god, now I got it. Now I've got something started, and he's gonna block me on Twitter again.
What's Boogie's real name?
Oh, cunts. We should get Vamp Candy on here.
We should get Vamp Candy on here.
Yeah, Wrath. you're the
Boogie's real
fucking
name isn't
co-host.
Boogie,
You really think I'm gonna do shit? Figure it out.
but
I'm not
because
adopting
I've had someone outright ask me if my first name was Reading.
Oh, yeah, I remember you saying that.
See, I at one point was wondering if that was your last
Not
name.
make that public.
No. I was on a stream with Feminist Flow, and he asked if my first or last name was Reading, and like
Oh,
Reading
so
friends-
we have a name for this cunt.
Feminist Flow is the one who asked me if my first name was Reading. I'm like, dude, it's my online handle.
Is
I
the
don't use my
is the
name.
stream still online?
Might be it was on Feminist Flow's channel. I don't know where that stream went.
I've never
I
heard
mean,
of
my
it.
real name is Red.
I need to find that.
But
Feel
real
free to
quick
dig it
before-
up.
Before we move on to something else.
Just to confirm for everybody, my real name isn't Schmeckel.
It's not. It's Lucifer.
Harambe?
Yeah, it is
Harambe.
Harambe.
It's
You actually avoided the
Lucifer
bullet.
Harambe. A lot of people.
Harambe was my father.
The ill name.
Harambe was his father.
Yeah. So this is why Schmeckel hates black people so much, is because he blames that kid for his dad's death.
But
I
back-
don't
back to-
hate black people. I only hate black people darker than me.
back to the Dieter thing real quick. I just want to say I saw what I saw. Maybe you feel like something else happened, but I'm just letting you know that it wasn't what you're implying happened. I think you overreacted because of something that happened in the past with the room key, him denying you the room key, and you messaged me calling him an asshole. And maybe you were after, a reason to hate the dude just because of that. And when he touched you, that really freaked you out because there was a guy that touched you a few minutes before and you didn't freak out like that.
Oh, speaking of Dieter, that just made me think of Vern's face for some reason. What was the whole, that thing?
What
with
thing?
the GoPro.
I'm just going to be quiet now.
What thing?
The whole recording him while he was
Yeah,
sleeping.
the Go Amateur event.
That,
Oh,
that
yeah,
never,
I've
never
heard.
happened. My
No,
GoPro was recording.
Yeah, it was on while you were
My
sleeping.
GoPro was recording while we were sleeping. We were sharing a bed. So if he was recording sleeping, I was recorded sleeping. I don't know. Because the second I realized it and I went, haha, my fucking GoPro knockoff was on all night. I deleted the recordings and that was the end of that. And the fact that he ran around telling people that I recorded him sleeping and then messaged me privately to be like, I never told anybody that, is just like,
Yeah, no,
fuck the fuck up.
I've heard that whole story. I know how that all goes. I was more wondering how you guys ended up bunking together.
people wanted him to come to VidCon. I felt bad for him because he told me that he couldn't afford to pay me. I said, no worries, just buy me a beer. And I told him where my room was and when I could meet up with him, and that's it.
I feel bad about that.
Oh, okay,
because
so you let him into your room.
I feel bad about that because I saw Vern needed a room and I messaged her letting her know that Vern needed a room. And she didn't have access to his DM, so I DM'd him letting him know that crazy.
You
had a
feel
room.
bad about the fact that I gave somebody who couldn't afford a room?
I feel bad that he got dragged into this drama. He doesn't.
Yeah,
seem-
and you know why he got dragged into this drama? Because he probably went to his like little buddies and said like, "Hey, she recorded me while we were sleeping," instead of being like, "Hey, like her GoPro was on, whatever." Like she deleted it. Even Dave Cullen looked at the recording, like when I was like giving him their GoPro, being like, "Hey, like
thought you
my
deleted
stupid
it.
GoPro is acting up. Like, can you take a look at why it's doing it?" And he couldn't figure it out. I even told him like, "Hey, doesn't it make you want to fling it at a window? Because it makes me want to fling it at a window."
You had the
And that's
worst
it.
luck that week. You had the fucking worst luck because a lot of things connected to make you look like you were worse than you were. But the thing
And you know
is,
what?
well,
You know
can
what,
I
dude?
finish
You
speaking
know what,
or
dude?
no?
No,
Can I
you know
finish
what, dude?
speaking?
Naomi,
You
let
can
me
like
finish, though.
Can you let me?
Naomi,
You criticize
you
people
can
for
like
speaking over you.
link
You criticize
all this
people.
shit
You
together.
criticize.
You can link all this shit together.
You criticize. All right.
Go for it, failure.
All I was just saying was that you take no responsibility for anything that happened that week.
Okay, Naomi, now you can say your part.
Thank you, Tiki, by the way. I was in the middle of smoking, so I couldn't interrupt, but
I was trying to get
That's no problem.
I was trying to get the chat riled up because I'm a terrible man.
Oh, hey, it's not the call to the cut stream for nothing.
no,
Cut stream
you
needs a
unmute
cancer
yourself,
chat.
crazy hair. We just wanted to hear what
She
failure had to.
prefers Naomi.
Sorry, Naomi.
God damn it, Harambe Jr.
No, like I said, I read the
I
thing.
swear to God, I will throw a black kid in your enclosure. I don't give a fuck.
Somebody told her to unmute herself.
Wrath, I know your real name, and I still read the bottom fucking thing to remember what to call you. So
Yeah, I know your real name too, Harambe too.
Naomi, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and say what you want to say to failure.
I didn't even know that I was muted, so whatever.
Yeah, Tiki muted you because you kept interrupting. But say what you were gonna say.
No, I'm not going to sit here being accused of recording somebody while they're sleeping and then
That's
like
not what I said.
giving you
He
like
was-
some
he
kind
was-
of
No,
amusement.
that's the thing. None of
Naomi,
us.
Naomi.
That wasn't what Failure was saying at all. You cut him off.
Naomi, he was saying that it was unfortunate that a series of events got linked together to make you look bad.
Exactly.
I think what Failure's saying is he basically agrees with me. A lot of this shit was probably coincidental and just looked bad. But then there were some parts that were, fully on you. I'm not sure if I'm interpreting Failure right because he kept getting interrupted.
You probably got better than me.
And if I had my camera on, you could see me shrugging. So just assume a shrug.
Okay.
Okay. Like, you don't feel like you overstepped the line by going up to a room with people that you've never had a conversation with before, even though you claim you weren't fangirling and they weren't celebrities?
They're not celebrities.
No,
I was not fangirling.
I feel like she overstepped a small line doing that.
I had gifts for them. I had gifts for them. Vernaculus was aware of them because I had told him about the gifts. I went up to him and I said, "Hey, these people are not at the party." And he said, "They're upstairs. Don't interrupt me." And he said, "They're upstairs." And then I said, "Oh, okay, should I go upstairs and give him the presents?" And he said, "Yes, they're in room 1212. And so I went around and I asked, "Hey, where are the elevators?" Somebody said, "Over there." So I went over there. And I saw 2 people getting in the elevator. So I walked into the elevator because I thought, like, whatever, I'm walking into an elevator. So I got into the elevator. They pressed a number. I pressed 12. I went upstairs. I was welcomed into the room. I gave out birthday shots. Everybody was taking my birthday shots. I gave out some presents. Everybody laughed at the presents. We talked. That's what happened. And then Blair's new boyfriend, freaked out, started screaming things like, "Who is this gypsy?" At which point I was like, "Holy shit, weird shit's happening." I packed up to leave. I put all my shit back in my purse, even though I hadn't given out all my presents. He tried to spray me with cologne or perfume in my face. I walked away from him or ran away from him and told him I was allergic. I made him put the perfume down. I then walked towards the door. He let me out the door. The door closed. I heard people laughing behind me. I could not believe what I was hearing. I turned on my recorder. I recorded it, which is a good thing because when I went back downstairs, people like Mundane Matt had asked me for proof. And that's what happened. And then the next day, everything was great. Memory Holiday had asked me to like come over and was asking me like how I was doing and making sure I was okay. Jeff Holiday had told me that he went upstairs the next day telling me like they must have been on something, telling me that like Greg tried to fight him, telling me that he called.
I need to ask you, how do you feel about Memory's whole
God damn it. No, wait, hold on, Mr. Michael. Can I just, because I waited patiently.
Yeah, definitely.
And I paused when I noticed I interrupted you. I paused, by the way. That's what you do when you notice you interrupt someone. You don't just keep talking. But all right. The point I'm making is you had no interactions with these people before. They didn't know you. You didn't know them personally, but you felt like giving them gifts. I would say that would be being a fan of those people. That's why you would give them gifts, because you had no relationship with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
let her respond.
Sorry.
What do you want me to say?
Just admit that you were just being a fan because you have had no interactions with the people, because you claim that they're not celebs and you were just, going up there to give gifts. I don't give gifts to strangers. Shu is a stranger to me. Skeptic is a stranger. Blair, I've talked to her before, but she's still a stranger. Why would you give strangers a gift if not because you were a fan?
Yeah, that'd be like me giving Chambers a gift. I mean, I've talked to Chambers a few times, but she's still basically a stranger to me. I wouldn't just be like, hey.
I'm trying to be nice to you, like Naomi. I'm just trying to point out that there's some things that you don't own up to, and you keep saying that you didn't go up there as a fan.
I don't think it's that weird. If I was,
would you be fanning out?
I might bring a couple things for some people, right? Like if I thought I could meet, say, Jeff Holiday, maybe I'd bring him a dildo, you know?
Yeah.
But you've talked to Jeff.
Like I can see that, right? What was that, failure?
But you've talked to Jeff in the past, so
yeah,
not
I have.
Just a random. What I'm saying is you don't understand why you get a lot of flack for going up there uninvited when you didn't know
and
these
see
people.
that's a different thing. It's not the gifts that are the issue. It's the going up to the fucking room, and more importantly, the recording afterwards.
No. The recordings are separate. Let's try to just focus on the going up there. You didn't know these people. You were at the party because you knew peers that were at the party, but you didn't know these people that were up there. Why did you go up there if not as a
I'm
fan?
gonna jump in real fast. Sorry to interrupt you, failure, but Monday Matt does one in.
Yeah, I just tweeted at him. I'm trying to get him to. So yeah,
he's got to DM one of us, or
let me just make one thing very, very clear. Let me make one thing very clear. Monday Matt's logo shows up in this hangout, I'm gone. Because I'm not okay with ambulance chasers chasing me around the internet screaming bloody liar.
Well,
so it's done.
If you
the second
leave,
I see him show up, I'm gone. And that's it.
If you leave, can you elaborate on one thing?
Never stopped me with my regulars, so I'm not sure why it would stop.
And that's okay. I'm not trying to get you to stop it. I'm telling you, there will be one person in this chat, him or me. And if it's him, then that's fine. He does have more subs, so I understand you wanting to have him in.
Oh,
but it's just not
you've got the more interesting story.
Can you elaborate on something for me real quick, though? What did you mean when you said Greg tried to fight Jeff Holiday?
Jeff Holiday told me that Greg tried to beat the shit out of him, and I'm gone. Goodbye.
Hey, no, I want to hear the God damn it, fucking mundane Matt.
It's what I do. What I do.
Notice how she didn't answer
this
the
whole
thing.
goddamn hangout. All I wanted to fucking hear was that story because I heard part of it from Jeff, and I wanted to hear it from her side. I've been waiting so goddamn patiently.
I haven't even heard Jeff's version.
No, it would be. I've actually
talking about his version of the story because of what happened. Let's just make that clear.
I'm about to message that bitch.
Because
Matt, she made.
Go ahead and
some.
I don't have a great deal of time, because I'm doing my stream in a few minutes. But I heard this, and I like to come call her out on her bullshit whenever I can. It's nonstop bullshit, guys. It's absolute bullshit. Everything she says about that night, once she leaves the room, is essentially crap, from what I can tell. So she admits she was tipsy, so that entirely backs up the idea that she may not remember events as she claims to. Failure can confirm all I drank was water that night. So I was dead sober. I was talking with some black guy in the bar. She approached me, crying her eyes out, asked to speak.
That's racist. You can't call him by that name.
Yeah, his name is Derek. Derek, you don't call. It's Naomi. You don't.
Honestly, I'm like,
I was racist. That was wrong.
Real quick. So I was waiting. I was waiting for Matt downstairs with Andy and Esther Koo. We were going to go to the Comedy Store.
Yeah, and I got sucked into this shit instead of going and having a good time.
Oh, you poor bastard!
So fucked. So fucked. Anyway, so I'm in there talking with Derek. All right, you fucking anonymity breaking motherfuckers. and she pulls me outside.
Blame Naomi.
And there's no Jeff Holiday because if you listen every time she tells a story, little details change. And the idea there is that you always got to pick up on the little details. That's how you know you're dealing with a liar. You're dealing with a narcissist and probably a sociopath. And so what she's doing is she says. Now, yesterday, I think the other day on Queenie's stream, she said she was sitting on the hall and I approached her. She was talking with Jeff. I didn't see Jeff for the rest of that night. I didn't know what happened with Jeff until the next day. And what happened was she pulls me outside. We're talking. She tells me the story. Like, they said all these things. They called her a gypsy. They called her all these names. And I flat out said, I'm like, yeah, this is something that I think that they would do. They were elitist cunts. I use that term because this is a situation with the party. I was very pissed off at that because I felt it was a gigantic waste of time. And I have told that to Blair even. And then she says, I recorded it. Now, the key part of this is the people in the room, right? This is what doesn't get discussed. The 6 people in that room besides her were Blair, her boyfriend, Greg, June, Chris, and Lacey, right? Now,
That
I know
sounds
Chris,
like a group of elitist cunts.
it does. Well, no, Chris and Lacey, I wouldn't say are elitist cunts. They were
No,
just up there.
but the other ones, yeah.
But the other ones, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
No, they are. And I think they know it, but it's fine, whatever. It's not even important at this point. What's important though is I know Chris Ray Gun pretty well, and I trust the guy. I trust him. And so when she said Chris was up there, I'm all like, wait, did Chris and Lacey say anything? And she was like, no. And I'm all like, okay. And then she goes, but I have it recorded. And I'm like, and I'm kind of like, what? Like, can I hear it? You know, I'm like, asked her to hear it. And I also asked her if she wanted me to go up there and say something.
For a second?
God bless it.
Was it a recording from in or outside the room?
Well, based on the video that Shuan Head posted showing Naomi leaving the room, I'm going to assume it's from outside. And the reason why I say that is you can't make out any distinct voices. You can hear people talking. You cannot hear what they are saying. So her entire
from the stream that she did with Queenie, she admits that she walked back to the door. She was already away from the door. And she walked back.
Well, what I heard was somewhere around it was in the last minutes. It was a 6-minute and 36-second clip. I know this because I saw it on her phone. And I know that it was 65 megabytes because I did in fact ask her to email it to me or Dropbox it to me so then I could put it in my laptop and clean the audio up to see what was actually said. She then also told me before I heard the recording that they had accused her of hacking Sargon's account. I haven't heard them make that claim one way or the other. So I can't confirm or deny whether or not that claim was made by either party.
No, they've confirmed that they said something along those lines.
Okay, cool. That's fine. That's fine.
It was a joke. It was like, maybe she's the one that hacked Sargon.
Okay, because
they still said it. That doesn't.
I think that also led to a lot of confusion in the situation, to be honest with you. Now, essentially, I asked her, does she want me to go up and say something? Because I'm not a huge Armored Skeptic fan, and I have no problem going up there and cussing out people who are being elitist pricks. No problem at all. I did not know about Jeff Holiday at this point. Now, then she says, can you go get Sargon? And I'm like, yeah, okay. You know, because I figured they're accusing her of this claim, then okay, maybe Sargon will have a better idea. So I go in, I pull Sargon out.
Clarify this point.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Oh, just like go get Sargon so we can clarify this.
Yeah, so we can talk about this because that was one of those situations. And then Sargon and I were talking, and he asked me, "Do you think that they're capable of doing this sort of thing?" I said, "I think Greg is, yeah." You know, again, I'm being honest. That's what I said. And so at that time, he heard a little bit of it. At the time the bar closed, Vernaculus came out, Barbara came out, a few other people came out, and then the bars were closing, so you couldn't really hear a lot. And at that point in time, Sargon, I think, handed the phone back to Naomi. I saw Chris and Lacey downstairs. I went down and I approached them directly. And I went up and I said, okay, what the fuck happened upstairs? I got a girl up here crying. What's going on? And they both told me the same story. She approached them, everything she told you essentially, up to the point of where they asked her to leave and she refused to leave. And they were just like, what the fuck is she doing here? Because they don't know. And I was asking them questions like, they were like, how did she get the room? And they were making, there was a lot of chatter about it, about hacking of a private Twitter group. I don't believe that. She's confirmed that Vernaculus gave her the room number. And I believe that was accurate because.
And, how much do you know about these? I wish I had asked her about it while she was here. She's mentioned a couple times that they were apparently on coke
No, they were not on coke. I saw Blair after the fact. Blair was pretty fucking hammered, but there wasn't coke involved.
Oh yeah, we saw the video Shu posted. Blair was
they were pretty. Blair was not coked out of her mind.
Well, yeah, that was not
Blair looked drunk.
Not how you act on
shit. Yeah, Blair was like slurring her words. She came over. She like threw her arm around me and somebody else, and she's like, "What's up, guys?" You know, and everything.
She's passing the blame off to Jeff. She's saying that.
I bet you 30. Oh, Seth's in it.
So
hello.
By the way,
I bet you $30 that Jeff and June or Jeff and what the fuck's that dude's name? Greg and June were doing coke. I bet you $30.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not going to speculate. I also don't care.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. If I was at a party with a bunch of other people that had, a significant amount of spending money, there's a good chance a couple of us would be doing coke, and I'd be in that crowd.
I'd be. What you have to remember is that no one's making money on YouTube right now, so people ain't buying coke.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so look, that whole situation, that's an allegation that there's no basis in truth for that.
To be honest, I'd be more surprised if they
if you want to know,
blame them if they were.
Yeah. Okay. I understand. But essentially, that is where my involvement that night kind of ended. Is I saw Naomi leave. I was still talking to them, trying to figure it out. She didn't contact me again, asking what was going on. And I think what it was, as I learned the next day when Jeff had gone up there and spoken with them, that somehow in between that timeline of her going to him, crying to him, and then him going up there, and then her coming and finding me, and then getting me to involve Sargon, you can see a clear pattern of trying to go up the ladder in order to defend her honor is the best way I can describe it. And that situation, it was, again, it left a lot of people just really confused as to what the fuck was going on, because no one had a straight answer. It wasn't until the next day when people started talking about it and you started hearing the different stories involving her and the different this is an odd encounter. This is an odd thing. And everyone contrasting and comparing, and then leading up to her going and finding Andy Worski. And that whole situation is just kind of like, it became too coincidental to not actually be something. And it, we don't know entirely. Like, the thing is, like, I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt on a number of claims, right, that were alleged against her. But when you look at the key factoid, the factors of what we know, the GoPro being on all night for some random reason, those things don't hold long batteries. So unless it was plugged in a recording, that would be a deliberate act. The recording of outside the doorway. And here's the thing too. Yes, California has a law against recording someone without their knowledge, but that if you're in a private hotel room, that's one thing. If you're in a hallway and people are speaking loudly through a door in a hallway, what a recorder picks up has no expectation of privacy. So
that's what I've been saying.
If she has this recording, which she claims to have stuffed in an old news folder from what she said on a stream the other day, again, me trying to confirm, I want her to admit one thing. All I want is one answer. I want her to admit she came to me, because that destroys her entire narrative. If she admits the truth here, which is she approached me, of which I have multiple witnesses of, then
which she's admitted in another fucking stream.
She admitted in another stream.
You know what I love?
In that stream with Andy and Blair, she admitted that before you showed up, that she went to.
Schmeckle is my channel. Like,
was it yours?
Yeah, it's my channel. Hey, Matt. So when I brought up that video, that piece of her video, the 50-minute one, where she has her hand on your shoulder, and is there for a while. Like, she denied that video even like existed. She was like, "All right, show me." Then I show her, and fucking, like, I'm trying to like put it at half speed because she has like really sped up. She's like, "Why you not just play it normal? Play it normal." I'm trying to explain, like, she's a twat.
Look, here's the thing. She clearly, I do not believe anything she did was done with malicious intent. I want to make that abundantly clear.
Yeah,
how can we trust her word if she doesn't even remember putting a piece of footage in her
I get that. I understand your point there, Failure, but the reason why I say that is because this is not based on my interactions with her, based on the constant changing of the story that she's done and shifting the goalpost now to where she called me on Queenie's stream an ambulance chaser, right?
AC.
And again,
I'm just gonna call you AC.
But then also she made claims that I'm only saying what I'm saying in order to work in favor with people who were shit talking me at VidCon, and I'm all like,
I love that, by the way. My channel's had to. I love that Queenie called her out for calling you ambulance chaser, so she started calling you AC. And meanwhile, she's like, no, I'm calling him AC. I'm not calling him ambulance. Stop being a fucking child. You know where you're fucking.
But the thing is,
mundane air conditioning.
Yeah, exactly. I don't. If anything, I would be a heater because I blow hot air. But that's come on. It's beside the point. I know.
You can laugh at yourself.
I can really laugh at myself. It's not a problem. Look, you don't get to where I get to make this your full-time job without laughing at yourself. So if she wants to sit there and make those claims that like I'm trying to get in with good people, I've got 144,000 subscribers. This has been my full-time job for 2 years. I do this on my own. I'm not trying to impress anyone. I simply don't care. My only dog in this race.
Impress anyone, but I'm sitting here impressed. So
well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And one day you'll be here too. Yeah, I know. I believe anyone can get there.
See, you cunts in the audience. You heard that. Make it
happen. 12,000. Just curious who you're talking about, because I joined a little after this discussion started. So I was
Naomi.
Yeah. But the thing is, I have to run because I have to start my nightly stream in a minute. I'm already a few minutes late. Is basically I don't believe that she did anything that was considered to be,
when you say she, who are you talking about?
I mean crazy
hair / Naomi.
I think she wants friends. I think she wants acceptance, and I think now that she's caught in this web that I'm going to be perfectly honest here, it's one that people, even like myself, keep giving her attention on. People inviting her on streams to know more about what went down. It's feeding into that narcissistic mindset.
To be fair, that wasn't why she was invited here. Just kind of.
No. Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that it is. I'm merely pointing out that I've seen numerous streams of people popping up and wanting to like, oh, let's get her side of the story. And then when they go to the other side, she runs and hides when she knows that sunlight's going to be put on her story and nothing's going to add up anymore.
I got a question.
She was fine with arguing with us until you showed up.
Yeah, because I was there.
Mundane Matt comes, I'm gone.
Because I was there.
Black Knight.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
She tried using the touch inappropriately with Bunty as well. What did she say about Bunty? Because Bunty was.
Are you fucking kidding me? She's calling out Bunty. That's the nicest motherfucker.
Yeah, Bunty seems like one of the nicest people.
Well, I'll be there next year, so we'll have even more fun.
He's fucking
if you're not banned for attending next year.
Here's the thing.
Next year, Mundane Matt, I'm showing up at your hotel room with gifts.
Listen.
Next year, I'm showing up at Monday.
I like Zero Carb Rockstars and PlayStation 4 games. All right.
Next year, I'm showing up.
Do you mind if they're like the on sale in the PlayStation Store?
I'm all down with digital. You have to give me the card first. I can put it on my account. That's all I have to do.
I'm gonna show up at Monday Matt's room expecting gifts from him. That's exactly how that's going.
So anyway, I have to run, guys. But thank you for having me on.
Bye.
For having me on, man. Take care.
I'll see you.
I'm sure I'll talk with you later.
Nice talking to you with as little as I was speaking.
Look at that. He's so humble. He thanks us for having him on.
Bunty was fucking right. Like as far as her manipulating the fucking conversation, like. Me not giving my name had nothing to do with anything. And meanwhile, she fucking harped on that to distract us from the fucking Dieter thing.
Hey, Wizard.
We lost Mundane Matt and got Wiz. So
and we also lost Satirization, who
basically.
I'm going to point this out right now. You have like a high guy ratio in this cut stream when it originally started with mainly women.
Sat came in and was like
awful hair.
Hey, Nick, it's my stream. It's my stream, Nick. It's my stream.
Nick has long hair. He counts as part of the hair.
My channel.
My birthday.
Failure takes over.
Shut up.
No, I'm sorry. As much as
can you defend?
Everybody yellow at each
other. I'm gonna wait for everyone else.
Yeah, everyone, shut the fuck up for a second.
All right, Nick. Can you please defend Dieter? please, because he's a sweet boy.
Oh well, no. I mean, let's be honest about what's going down right here. We've got a person who's making a whole bunch of fucking claims, She's at the center of all of them. She's the victim in all of them. And then you've got Dieter, who is honestly probably one of the nicest fucking people who was there.
He was there.
Dieter, that's one of the things. I've met Dieter maybe 3-4 times, like just in stream.
Dieter's a solid guy, and also Dieter doesn't have a
not only is he a solid guy, he's so
honestly all right. Okay,
to the point that I can't see him fucking.
I'm really not fucking. I'm not feeling the whole fucking drama vibe. This is. I honestly, I keep scratching my head, wondering why this shit's getting dragged out so fucking long. Why we all can't just throw our arms up in the air and shrug and say, "Well, somebody wants attention. Let's do the smart thing and not give it to him." But here we are. We're still doing it. So if we're gonna get into the matter of Dieter, she's probably salty because Dieter wouldn't let her just run up to his room to grab an ice bucket. Now, whether or not she had some nefarious plan or if she just wanted to grab ice to make a cocktail, either which way, Dieter didn't want her going up in his room. She was a little fucking weird about it. And if there was anyone honestly, like at this point, like Dieter was up on my shoulders a bunch. Usually it was like if I was sitting at a bar and all of a sudden I felt someone's sort of forearm or elbow rest on me, it was to get my attention. I'm like, wait a second, that feels like a 9.5 foot tall person.
Oh. Yeah, he's a fucking giant. It might happen that his arm rests on your shoulder.
Well, yeah, that's what it did. These claims, all of this shit. Let's be honest with ourselves here, right? I mean, I'm gonna be fucking charitable as I fucking can here. And this is like really the only time I've talked about this shit. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I hope it's the only time I have to. That girl was really fucking enthusiastic, so fucking psyched to be around a bunch of the people whose like content she probably loved and people she wanted to like, you know, rub shoulders with and chill with and hang out with. And for a certain period there, she did an okay job of actually just hanging out and being cool. And then I think at a certain point, it really did just get to be such a fucking, like, she was just so fucking wound up and psyched. And, you know what, I've heard a lot of people saying she's like, you know, she's showing very clear signs of personality disorders and all that. You know, maybe that's the case. I'm not a psychiatric professional. I'm not going to try and diagnose someone. But what I will say, though, is that as we all felt the whole energy of the entire event ramp up further and further and get more fun and more exciting, and everyone was so jazzed to fucking be there, it doesn't shock me at all that somebody who came out of fucking relatively nowhere. The first time I'd ever heard of this chick was when Vernaculus told me and Matt he didn't need to crash in our room because he found a roommate. Now, when I heard about her there and then I met her afterwards, as time went on, it's not
crashing with the two of you for her.
Huh? Oh, no. Well, I mean, it was because, well, I mean, it was he'd already kind of like agreed to it.
Okay. I was gonna say
so he would have been crashing on. He would have been crashing on the fucking. They call it a couch, basically. Just picture like a park bench with a bunch of marbles glued to the top. That's pretty much what that couch was. Yeah. Vernaculus, I mean, honestly, no. And I mean, the first time I'd ever heard of the chick was when Vernaculus was crashing with her, and I thought that was cool. Hey, somebody else to like come and chill, and everything was cool. I honestly do think that like she was really just too fucking eager to try and rub shoulders and get into a like, you know, get in with the cool kids, as it was, because there was some like, you know, private party bullshit going on. That entire night was a goddamn waste of time. I mean, I had fun. I'm not gonna say I didn't, but it was, I mean, like it was a fucking waste of goddamn time. A bunch of smoke got blown up a bunch of asses about, oh, big party, rooftop party, oh, private party will get you up into the room, this and that, whatever. And I think maybe she just went to that thing so jazzed that she was able to be a part of it, that she kind of crossed a few lines, trying too hard to be a part of something that nobody else was really interested in.
It's what I've been saying the whole time. I don't think she's some like fucking stalker or some threat to anybody. She
might be. No, I mean, honestly, I'm not saying either way. But what I am saying with a certain level of certainty is the girl let her excitement get away from her, and it's probably because, you know, she's probably you know, a bit fucking nuts. I mean, let's be honest.
I had a basic question.
It's not a mistake normal.
Well, no, yeah, well, no. Here's the other thing too, right? If you, I mean, she's standing by her points, and this is really honestly seeing that shit is why I felt it was worth commenting on.
It takes no fucking blame.
Well, no, she's going all over the internet trying to like paint herself as a victim here and there and up and down, right? That's what she's trying to do. But the fact is that if you're so fucking confident in the argument that you have to present and to defend yourself with, and that you didn't do nothing, and it's everybody else, and everyone's just trying to paint shit wrong, and you're gonna single out someone like Matt and say that he was one of the central fucking an ambulance chaser, whatever the fuck you want to call him, you're gonna single someone like that out, right? If you're so fucking solid with what it is you're saying, why can't you actually say that directly to the person themselves? I mean, granted, going on Blair's stream, hey, look, more exposure. Look at me, everybody. Look at me. But when it's Mundane Matt on the cunt stream, can't be bothered to defend the fucking points she wants to make ad nauseum. And really, it's pathetic. And I'm honestly at the point now, I'm wondering why the fuck are we still talking about this?
I don't know. Well, here's the thing. Matt was sober. Matt was sober that night, so his account of it is more clear than hers. But real quick, I just want and the final thing I had to ask her, she never answered. I asked her, and here's in a tweet. So I never got my answer. Why did you go up to the room with 8 strangers to bring presents? If not because you were a fan. Like, I feel like she went up there as a fan. She doesn't acknowledge that. She's like, no, I wasn't a fan. Would you go up to a room with 6 people that you've never talked to before and bring gifts if you weren't a fan?
No. If I don't already count somebody as a friend, unless I've been invited to a place, I have no interest in partying with people that I don't fucking know. And in fact, that's the big reason that I wasn't altogether... No, I wasn't.
No, but what does she have to lose by saying that she was fangirling out at that moment?
Because that destroys the entire narrative she's been building, and it deconstructs the entire victimhood thing. It's
in too deep.
Can we like, you know what though? I mean, like this shit's pretty much all said and done. I'm not entirely. I can't really think that there's anything new to actually be said or that needs to be said.
On my side, Nick, on my side, it bothers me because she's saying that something I saw with my eyes is a lie.
And you've made your statement to the contrary. I mean, at this point, we're really just like, say hypothetically she has a psychological condition and she just craves attention, and this is how she's gone about getting that attention. We're literally enabling that, so we're not doing her any favors, and we're not doing the public any favors, because I mean, there's bigger fish to fucking fry right now.
Yeah,
Korea's testing missiles that have the ballistic trajectory to hit Alaska.
On that.
You know, more than that though.
We're not doing anyone else.
My birthday.
Let me offer this though. One of the reason that, like, part of the reason this fucking irks me, the fact that we're still talking about this shit and she's still getting the airtime, and we're still going and rehashing the rehash and all that shit, is because coming out of that event was honestly, there was so much more. There were so many better things that came out of that than just this bit of horse shit drama with what seems to be a crazy person going up against, at least in the case of fucking Greg, a fucking narcissist. Now, it's funny. I got a lot of shit.
Like to ask you is about one of the best things, as far as I'm concerned, to come out of VidCon this year. The whole Rick and Morty thing with you and Vern.
Oh yeah, no, Vern actually. Well, it's the funniest thing about it too. Vern lives roughly an hour away from me.
What?
And we're both New Englanders. He's in Massachusetts. I'm in New Hampshire, and
the two of you need to do a lot more together.
Oh no, he's gonna be, actually, I was talking with him today. He's gonna be coming up to chill here for a bit, and he and I we're gonna get some drinks, probably do a little podcasting.
The kids love the podcast. What I was gonna ask is, did you script that?
Oh no, dude! Like literally, I just like ran up on him while we were on the street, and like I started trying to live stream from my shitty phone. And
I know, obviously, you do all the voices. He was just completely prepared to do a fucking Morty voice.
Oh well, we've joked about that shit before. You know, we play those. We play that shit all the time. And no, the cool thing is he's going to be hopefully coming up here. I'm hoping next week we're going to go down to my bar down the street for the jam night and some cheap drinks, and just chill, fucking do a little podcast, a little streaming, And then after that, while he's here, we're going to figure out where and when. But we're actually going to do a New England meetup. And it's either going to probably be in Boston or maybe Providence. We're not sure.
Man, that's so far. How come you guys can't go south a little bit?
You cunts need to go just like a lot more north. And
I'm not allowed in your country, dude.
Of course you're not. Why would I think
there's a middle spot. Just come to Minnesota.
I've been to Minnesota. That's actually.
You mean South Canada?
You can.
Yes.
You can have. It's surprising how much fun you can actually have in Minnesota. It's
Yeah.
not the place.
Oh yeah, I actually have a few friends in the Twin Cities. I want to go back up there sometime.
I got friends in the Twin Cities, and I worked in Rochester for a while. Which I mean,
if we could do a meetup in Minnesota, I could actually probably make that. Unlike Wiz, I'm allowed to cross international borders.
No, I can cross. I can cross a whole bunch of borders, just not the one that's about 3 hours north of me.
Just not the Kazakhstan border.
Yes, you guys should totally do it. Because I live in the middle of nowhere, Minnesota, so it'd be nice.
You see, here's the thing: is Wiz actually fought for his rights as a man, and Canada discourages that.
No, it's but no, it had more to do with my bad decisions, but that's a different story. I will say this much: it's actually very easy as an American to be banned from Canada. In fact, I was listening to a Rogan podcast, and I can't remember who he was talking to. It was he's another podcaster. I don't think it's the Hardcore History guy, but I might be wrong. But no, he was talking about when he was trying to get up into Canada when he was like 17 back in, I think, the late 70s or some shit.
No, that wasn't the one with Dan.
You know you know the story I'm talking about. He got popped for trying to steal a Snickers bar.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then later he was trying to cross the Canadian border and he got like detained for 19 hours because of that.
Yeah, I just know it's not Dan Carlin.
No, it wasn't Dan Carlin. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's I can't remember who it was. It was like a year or two ago. I heard it. But yeah, no, I mean, honestly, like your Canadian border controls are they're not laxed. They if you fuck up in the U.S. at all, if you get like if you get caught with drugs, if you got like drunken disorderlies or DUIs.
So what you're saying is that you have a very minor criminal record.
Well, I mean, yeah and no. It's kind of complicated. The Army made most of it disappear, but when they look, they can see this big gaping hole where
Wait. You're a fucking veteran.
Yeah.
How do you not? Really. We've had this discussion on a Cunt stream before.
No, I'm not a veteran, but I was in the service.
Well, actually, if it's not too much information, how many days were you in?
Oh, I was in for the entirety of ITB. It was 9 weeks of basic.
Then by legal definition, you actually are a veteran. I believe it's
but I'm not gonna.
But you don't count it because you didn't deploy.
No.
If you were in the service,
I respect that.
Yeah. If you were in the service,
a lot of guys who didn't deploy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm a vet," and I was kind of like,
"Oh no, it's funny because I got vets like I got friends who are vets who like know all about my story, and they're like, veterans say like, go to Applebee's, get your free lunch. It's like, no, it's not my free lunch.
No, sorry, I still take the fucking.
I still feel like a dick taking mine because I was just a guy on a ship turning valves.
Yeah,
Wizard.
Sorry, even if you've never deployed, take the fucking free lunch.
Yeah. No.
So
no.
Wizard,
I'll tell you what. If we were hanging out on Veterans Day, I'll buy your lunch if you drive me.
Fair enough. Yeah, I was in the Army.
What service?
Army.
Well, no, I'm talking about what was your yeah.
This is a rifleman. Oh, it's gonna be a rifleman.
Oh, okay.
And then
I'm kind of glad you did.
A journalist, a voice actor. I think you said you were an actual actor at some point.
No, I have 14 film credits and an IMDb. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait.
You've been a wine distributor before or something like that?
I was a booze.
Is your real name public knowledge?
Yeah. No, in fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Here, I'll even give it to you right here. I love that. People are like, aren't you afraid of getting doxxed? It's like, oh god, did you go to my IMDb where my contact information is available? Oh no. But yeah, it's in the side chat there. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's my IMDb.
Oh wow. Is this you?
Yeah, that's me.
No, it's not him.
I was gonna say he's also posted his he's also several times posted articles that he's written in the past on his Twitter.
Holy
And you guys
fuck, he's
actually
been-
follow him.
Dude, this
He's
is like
been in
awesome
shit I've
sauce.
Holy
What
shit!
have you seen?
Yeah.
What have you seen?
The Ascendants.
You saw Ascendance?
I don't think I watched the whole thing. I saw parts of it. I don't remember.
Yeah, no,
obviously.
I was in the second
who
installment.
were,
And I actually, well, no, here's the thing. I actually just completed the novelization of the core story. So
Wait. Did you write it?
Well, no. Okay, so the script. All right, so the director and producer of Ascendance is a friend of mine. After he cast me, we got to be good friends. He wanted a novelization done, and so he sent me his script and said, "Can you turn this into a book?" And after roughly a year, I came out with I think 140,000 words or so, and yeah, that's a book.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of books, I still want to find Jeff's
Send me a
book.
link. Send me a link to where I can buy that, because from what I remember, that was a.
Well, I just completed. I mean, it's an interesting story. It's a sci-fi like kind of dystopia. In like the day after tomorrow kind of future, like
Yeah.
kind of Children of Men style. Well, that kind of like that, like nearby future. These researchers stumble on what they seem to believe, and it seems to be scientific proof of an afterlife, and that creates around this like discovery, people do what people do. So like this new sort of weird faith emerges, and they discover that only certain portion of the population is genetically genetically able to access this. So good portion of the fucking species are called biomass, and when they die, they just die. And then when the ascendants, who are these like, there's a good portion of them. It's not like it's a little slim minority. But when these ascendant folks die, according to at least this new revelation, they've discovered that there is some kind of an afterlife and this and that. So, and it's a neat fucking story. And honestly, it was a challenge writing the book, but yeah, and the guy who made it, Don Schechter, he does a lot of really fucking brilliant commercial work. He's got a Red Epic, so we shot the whole thing on the same camera that they shot The Hobbit on, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got to see if I can find that again.
It's on Vimeo. It's on Vimeo. Actually, you know what I can do? I'll talk to Don tomorrow, and I'll see if I can get you like a freebie link to go and watch it, because he's gonna be.
I want that link too.
Oh yeah, no, I mean,
I gotta look for where you are.
I'm a cheap bastard.
all my friends, I'll try and get it, and Don might just say fuck off. I'm not doing that, and make everyone pay the $4 or whatever to watch it. So yeah.
No, I paid the money at some point. I don't remember how the fuck I came across it, but
probably my shameless promoting.
No, it was before I knew who the fuck you were.
Why don't you do the northeastern shitlords meetup in like New York?
Well, it's a New England meetup, and fuck the Yankees. That's why.
I'm an Indian, so we can.
Oh no! I honestly no. I mean, honestly, like I hope to do something there, because I miss New York. Like every day, not as much as I miss New Orleans, but I mean, New York is such a fucking retarded city. You
New
walk
York's
around
driving distance, man.
Yeah, it's about 5 hours, and
It's
when I get out,
expensive as hell there.
oh no, yeah, oh actually no, not if you're visiting. If you're visiting,
Not if you
it's-
go stay in the ghetto.
yeah, I mean,
Ghetto hotel.
I have a cousin who lives in Brooklyn, for fuck's sake.
I'm just
which is
saying,
funny
in New
'cause-
York, it's expensive, and in California, it's super expensive.
Oh no,
So-
actually, in California it's expensive, and in New York it's unaffordable.
California is super expensive. I live in the state capital, and it's fucking ridiculous out here.
You mean
Yeah.
California? California.
Yeah, but no, I mean the
It's a
funniest thing.
Republican state. We have
well-
Republican on our flag.
When I get out there, like when I've gone out to New York in the past, I'd always just take the Boston, the Megabus line, Or sometimes I'd take Feng Hua. I love Feng Hua. It used to be like $10 each way between Boston and New York, and you're on buses that could maybe they'll catch fire. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, the odds are better that you'll just make it there, and you'll have to make a pit stop to pick up half of another bus's passengers because that bus caught on fire. But yeah, it's but all the times I went there, I've slept in like doorways and parks. I slept in Sunset Park in Brooklyn one time, and I hit my buddy up who lives in the Bronx because he was gonna give me a place to stay, and then he's like, "Oh shit, my mom's sick. I can't help you." I'm like, "Ah, that's all right, dude. I'll just get wasted until like almost dawn and then pass out in some kind of park." And I was so hammered. I was trying to get to Central Park. I ended up in Brooklyn, going up to Sunset Park. And I hit him up the next day, and he's like, "Oh, where'd you find a place to stay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I slept in Sunset Park." He's like, "Oh, you know people in Sunset Park?" I'm like, "No, I slept in the actual park." "Are you out of your fucking mind?" Yeah, I'm fine. And no, I mean New York's a wonderful. I mean, a northeastern meetup, yeah, New York's the place. But the New England meetup, it's either going to be Boston or Providence. I'm thinking Boston because it's a little more in the center of things.
Dude, are you from Boston? I've been spacing in and out of this conversation.
No, I'm from New Hampshire, but it might as well be in northern Massachusetts.
I've been to Boston like once, and the females up there are terrifying.
Oh no, yeah, no. If you've ever seen Ted, they got the great scene. They're like, "All I'm saying is, Boston women are less pleasant than women from other parts of life." Well, what are you talking about? Well, think about it. I mean, when you're doing them, right? It's like, oh my god, yeah, right there. Oh god, oh fuck.
Oh my god.
Right now, go stuff my. I gotta go stuff my face with Pepperidge Farm.
I loved that. That was one of my favorite jokes in that movie, to be honest.
Dude, they're like monsters.
Harder.
Fuck. Well, that's the thing. I mean, like, if you're not from Boston and like you start dating an actual Boston chick, not a Cambridge chick. Fuck Cambridge, but I'm talking real Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they'll fucking throw down and fight a dude before you will.
Oh yeah,
like,
dude, they're fucking monsters.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, I gotta scoot. So it was nice thank you for having me. It was fun.
Nice talking with you, Chambers.
Later, Chambers.
See ya.
I
Bye,
waved
guys.
to my camera. That's turned
I
off.
recognize that.
Hey, Wizard of
Actually,
Cause,
I
is it okay if I call you Wizard of Cause?
Oh.
Dude, come on.
Fucking
Wiz,
change your fucking name if you don't want people to call you by your fucking.
Well, no, that
How about we change the subject?
Fucking.
Did it seem like the Steam sales sucked this year?
Oh, the Steam sale.
I was not impressed with the Steam sales. Like, there was literally one thing I bought. I bought Dark Souls 3.
I hope you get fucking stopped by the TSA and fucking get anally probed.
Yeah.
Oh, don't threaten me with a good
Okay.
time.
Castro.
Yeah, I was gonna say Fidel terminated.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go fuck off too, guys. Later.
Later,
All right,
Smash.
Sasha, bye.
All right, so I've invited Crazy Hair back. She said no because apparently I ambushed her. Then I asked how-
Listen, can we stop with this shit? Can we just fucking forget
no,
about
no,
it?
The
Wizard,
point
I
of getting her on in the first place wasn't to talk about all of this bullshit. It came up in the chat and it became the topic of the fucking night.
Yeah, but that's what you're gonna get. It's topic du jour, and if you get the person who's at the center of it, that's gonna be the topic du jour.
Why would you
Okay,
want
but
her on your stream
Wizard-
anyway? What has she fucking done in the past? She's
The point
she
of
does
talking to her about this, though, is to get all sides and to understand what happened.
Gives a fuck.
Most of us weren't there, and we're seeing all this drama happening. We want to know the whole picture. Humans are
Unless the words out
judgmental
of
by
her
nature.
mouth or I'm sorry. I don't want to hear what she has to say.
It's not
Yeah,
even
I'm done talking with her for the night. I asked the one main question I was concerned about. I was confused about. I got my answer. I am done. I've already got the whole picture painted.
It's not even that.
Okay, then why are we?
I'm sure she won't show. I've sent her the invite, and I've made public that I've sent her the invite, and told her that Matt's gone.
It's whatever.
So that's clear
I mean,
that she's still welcome.
So on a different note, apparently Opalescence has lost her voice, and she's interested to see what Schmeckle's thoughts are on that.
Well, she still can't join.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
she's
just-
allowed to
if-
join
if
with the
this
child
drama didn't
voice.
happen,
She wants to know what you
I
have to
like
say.
taking her out, but she can't join if she's got no voice. So
You hear that, Opal? You might have been welcome, but you have no voice, so it's pointless.
well, I
You've
mean,
been
she
denied a
was welcome
voice.
momentarily. She's always the first one to go. I never boot her for a reason, but I also never feel bad for doing it.
So are
No,
you
but
joining with her?
There was just so many. I mean, the thing is that there's so many better stories that came out of that, right?
Oh yeah, the
And-
Lacey
and-
Saragon thing was pretty awesome to hear
That
about.
was that. No, I mean, that was
Francesca and
awesome.
Andy was actually pretty good too.
Yeah, well, I mean, Francesca actually I mean, either she dropped her blockchain or she unblocked me afterwards, and it was funny because I was just having casual bants with her the other day. And
No,
this has been-
she
well, this is
blockchain because
okay. Yeah.
Talk.
What this is the funny thing that I noticed though is because casual band. I'm not I don't agree with her about anything. I mean, I'm sure maybe we agree about some shit, but it was funny because my new sort of perspective has sort of drawn me to a place where, all right, I don't want to go after low hanging fruit. I don't want to just be a shit talking dickhead, but then at the same time, it keeps coming back. There was people who were legit mad because in a 48-hour period I made fun of one of Rebel Media's people, and let's be honest, Rebel Media is fucking garbage. They have a block bot working right now, and they're I asked Cowlin, their little twink from England, he was accused of doctoring footage, and every time anyone asked him to prove that he wasn't by just, hey, can you release the raw, he blocked them. And I'm like, yeah, no, this is a pussyfoot garbage operation they're running. And because I made fun of Jack Probiotic or whatever the fuck his name is, and then had bants with Francesca, everyone's like, oh, I see, after VidCon, all you e-celebs are just making new clubs now, and the rest of us plebs just have to eat shit while the movement dies. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you upset that I'm not maintaining an echo chamber for you, homeboy? Because if you are, I think you're in the wrong place. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, it's just, honestly, so many people came out of this with so many new fucking perspectives. It's funny because I saw this. I'm not even going to name him because the motherfucker does not need the promotion at all. He's this smarmy, greasy. He looks like the greaseball fucking Goomba lawyer from every really shitty. Yeah, well, no, this guy, he was trying to say the whole thing was a big plot by MTV. Lacey Green was an operative, and so was Franny, and this and that. And MTV is going to sponsor the Kilroy event, and then the Warskis are going to come out on top because they're trying to capitalize. Motherfucker, please! You've got 2,000 views on this video. You got 1,000 subscribers. You weren't at VidCon, and if you're anything like you were in your videos, you're unlikable, and unlikable didn't really work there. It's fucking hilarious the way people have been fucking flipping the fuck out, all because some people are willing to have conversations with the people we've been trying to have conversations with the whole time. Drives me up the goddamn wall, but I ain't here to hijack the stream and shit.
No, it's okay.
Oh, no,
we're
you're
just
good. You're good.
we're
We're having a good
exchanging
we're
Steam
Steam
information.
in the side chat. You're fine.
You're cool.
Oh, wait, Tiki, thanks for muting her.
Yeah, no problem. I was literally getting tired of her talking over everybody when they're trying to say their part, and she would not let people speak. That irritates me.
Hey, I'm gonna let you finish, but call me Naomi, goddammit.
Look,
That's
it's
pretty
my
much the
stream.
whole story.
Listen,
it's my stream, guys. Nick is my stream. Let me speak. The problem is that she goes on for about.
Oh God!
Hi, Jeff. Oh shit!
I thought you.
It's my stream. I'm talking right now. You need to let me speak.
Oh,
apparently this is no. It's not your stream anymore. It's not your channel anymore, failure. It's now YouTube Saints.
That's right.
Apparently, Crazy Hair has people in her DMs telling her that I'm a social climber. I assume that means a kiss ass or a
For
lead.
once,
Sinatra immediately
guys,
comes back.
guys. For once, she tells the truth. So
I came
listen.
back to
Explain your friendship with failure otherwise.
I came back to put my Steam information in the side
Who
chat.
the fuck said I have a friendship with failure? I don't know. I still don't know who invited him.
Can I ask a very serious? I need to ask a very serious question of everyone who's here, though.
Go ahead, Nick.
Who amongst you is
Oh,
currently
fuck.
or has been playing Player Unknown's Battlegrounds? Anyone?
I've been playing.
I haven't.
I've been playing the shit out of PUBG.
All right, Sinatra.
What do you think I got my ear cans on, man?
Yeah,
What?
boy. Sinatra on Steam, Wizard of Cause.
Wait, hold
Add
on.
me
I'm
right
about
now.
to put my thing in the side chat.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm the same everywhere I go on.
That's the whole reason I came back into the stream was to put my Steam account in. Well, I queue up with Big Dicko all the time, so he'll play with us too.
I play with Allie, but I play with my brothers, and I occasionally play with people who follow me on Twitter too. So if people who actually do follow me on Twitter want my Steam info, it's literally the same thing. So you guys could just add me on
failure.
Steam.
I can't believe I wasn't even friends with you yet. Holy
No,
shit.
guys, Jeff.
Chat guys, you can all leave now that you know Tiki will play games with you.
Let's address all the problem. Jeff, what's your problem with me?
Huh? I don't have a problem with you.
What's the problem with me, man?
I don't have a problem. I love you.
You didn't bring enough In-N-Out Burger. You didn't even bring enough In-N-Out Burger to the hotel room that night.
I didn't bring any In-N-Out Burger.
Not you, failure. Failure brought some. Didn't bring enough to really share.
I don't really like In-N-Out Burger, to be honest with you.
It was meh. It was alright.
In-N-Out Burger is super overrated, and there's
Yeah,
always
but-
a crazy line.
Yeah, but keep
I
in
had
mind,
to-
like New England, here in New Hampshire, we literally only have McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, KFC, and Wendy's. That's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can
You
make
don't have
you a
White
better
Castle?
burger if you're ever in Utah.
I can
which
make it.
don't
I
go
can
to
make a
Utah
better
at
burger.
6.
I can make it
You
better.
don't have White Castle?
Nope.
Why would you
I don't
want
have
White
White
Castle?
Castle either.
White Castle's disgusting, dude.
No,
Dude,
come
White
on.
Castle is what you do when your taste buds have led you into evil.
Oh wait, Jeff, are you wearing a Jeff Holiday shirt?
Yeah, it's laundry day, so I'm wearing this shirt. This is the only one of these shirts in existence. He handmade it for me. I was like, dude, that's awesome, cool. I'm not gonna get rid of it. I like it.
That's about it.
Makes me feel like I'm somebody,
Maybe
guys.
I might have found you, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Are you
Good.
sure it doesn't make you taste like victory?
No,
Well, you know
Jeff, I know you've been trying to stay out of the drama, but can I ask, what do you think of Ian Mouse trying getting doxxed?
I think that's fucking bullshit, dude. It's terrible. Well, I mean, technically, it wasn't him; it was his parents. But I mean, it's fucking horrible, dude.
That's kind of worse.
Wow,
Yeah,
like
it
don't
is.
go after the family. I mean, that just reminds me of. I'm not going to go too far into it, but that shit that happened to Jeff. That
Yeah, that cunt.
a certain person who sounds like they're holding their own nose.
Who?
Big clown here.
That one.
I hadn't even thought about that mouth breather in a while. I don't know what the fuck.
I'm sure he's doing wonderfully on VidMe.
I'm sure he is.
Oh yeah,
I'm
he's
sure he
he's
is.
probably like the number 500,000 person of 400,000 users.
Dude, did I actually find you on Steam?
Hey, Jeff, I gotta ask: Are
sweet.
you interested in gaming with myself and Ian Milestrong, along with others? Because we have our
Along
own
with
circles, and we would
others.
love. Well, Vamp Candy, of course.
Vampy
and
wants to be
Conquest,
included as others specifically.
What's your?
I'm sorry, guys. Let Vamp Candy have the floor while I go get a beer. Vamp, go ahead.
Failure. What's your?
Go fuck yourself,
Remember,
Failure.
failure stream.
I'm failure. I'm failure.
No, this is now YouTube Saints. We have both of them.
Oh, that's true. Fuck the con stream. These two are in charge.
I know you guys have a nice little thing over there. Wait,
Everybody,
Jeff,
pull their pants down and just start
Jeff,
shaking their shit
Jeff,
around.
Jeff,
Wait,
Nick.
I'm way ahead of you,
There was that
buddy.
one
Way
time
ahead of
you
you.
got us all shirtless. That was
That's
the
much
one-time thing, Jeff.
No,
One-time thing with the topless man stream.
I enjoyed
Failure.
it.
Put your
I know you guys have your thing.
You
with
can
the-
whatever it is that's so important, whatever's so important right now, failure.
Yeah.
You can tell it to me once you're back from getting your beer. Go get a beer.
But I gotta say,
you shut the fuck up. Jeff's in charge.
I gotta say, we gotta take down Magog. He's going to advance away from me. We need to stop him.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go.
Magog's gonna destroy us all. I'm telling you.
Andy, go ahead and speak what's on your mind.
I got nothing.
that was a lot of
build. Quiet the entire time.
Can we talk about how you walked into a door earlier? Can we...
I did in fact walk into a door. I thought it was open.
Wow.
I had stuff in my hands. And
Here we go.
Was it not a glass door? Please say it was a glass door.
Mute Wars 2017.
No, my bedroom door, it's got a slight crack above the top, so light will come through. So my depth perception was a little off.
All right, can I ask something? Can I ask something of those who are hosting the stream and just people in general here?
Those who are hosting the stream, you mean you and Jeff?
Oh no, we're
just kill the format.
Yeah, there's
give up. You guys are in charge.
There's battlegrounds to be done and all that. But here's the thing. There are lots of things to talk about. There are lots of battles to be fought, and we've got new enemies cropping up left and right. If you're the kind of person who finds orthodox bullshit ideology to be repugnant, there are lots of fights to be had. Can we just sort of and I hate to use the word, but can we collectively can we all come together and say we're gonna stop focusing on insipid bullshit that doesn't fucking matter but gets dragged out to the ends of the earth? Because there's plenty of shit to do. Can we do
saying
that?
We come together as a community?
We all come together, but
now.
I think I get where you're going. All this.
Well, I mean, basically what he said in his most recent video.
Yeah, give up on all the fucking bullshit that's all just infighting, fighting with other creators and shit, and just focus.
I mean,
on
yeah, there's always gonna be plenty of people who exist solely on the fucking drama ticket, right? We're never gonna be rid of them, but at the same time, can we stop dragging dumb shit out like this whole crazy hair thing? Can we stop dragging dumb shit out like who said what about whom at what time, and maybe actually realize that we got a whole bunch more interesting and more intelligent shit we can be talking about? Can we kind of agree to do that?
I don't know about you.
I'm down for that.
Don't want intelligence.
I think that's kind of that was really the takeaway that I saw from what I was able to watch of the VidCon footage, since I obviously wasn't there, was that's kind of what the plan was, after Franny and Andy met up, Lacey and Sarah. It's very clear that everyone's ready to move on and talk about actual points.
Yeah, but everyone came away with their own different thing. What I'm begging and asking and pleading of people who I don't make friends with dumb people. I don't waste my time hanging out with and talking with people who are stupid or
I kind of do.
With dumb shit. Okay, you do, Jeff, but listen.
Well, I'm here with you guys, so you can see my time is totally invaluable.
Yeah, I'm just. My point is, though, I listen.
Validated by your presence here.
But the very fact here's the thing, the very fact that this whole crazy hair fucking horse shit, the fact that it went down is sad enough. The fact that it's existed as a meme unto itself this long is genuinely pathetic.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I would have rather it never have came back from VidCon, the whole topic of it, honestly. Yep, that's about it.
Yeah,
but I don't know, man. The whole thing is honestly kind of exhausting. I understand why it happened. I understand how it happened. It just feels so old to me now. VidCon was what 17 days. 17 days. 17 is over 2 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks now. And that one singular event. You know what? I think one of the reasons why it's held so much traction is there are some very aggressive-minded people who like to see any cracks in a perceived ivory tower sort of thing. And there are definitely YouTubers out there. And some of them you might even call correctly. Some of them you might get wrong, who do have an ivory tower mentality. but a lot of times it's also very grossly misplaced. You know, people like Andy Worski, for example. Andy Worski only found like any kind of fame really late last year. He blew up all of a sudden. So like the dude is the most humble, kind, wonderful, sweet-hearted person in the world. But people are, because of their latching onto this one drama, using it as like a Andy Worski, you're part of this like elitist club or some shit like that. I'm like,
there was one line that really bothered me from him. The whole, who do you think you're talking to?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Listen, dude, everyone fucks up. I fucking fucked up. Like,
yeah, I don't hold it against him.
Look, the way that she came to the stream was also a little bit bossy. A lot of
oh, definitely. Even the way she came to this one.
I don't want to. I don't really want to talk about crazy. I'm more like along the lines of the overall effect of it and why I think it's been latched on for so long. And I'm just tired of it. You know, between that race realists like Tara McCarthy equating mixed race couplings as bestiality, Tariq Nasheed trying to fucking silence everybody and their fucking uncle, Onision doing the same thing. There's more important, more interesting shit than
See,
one girl in one situation.
I'm super
but
involved in two of those
I've
things.
already got one strike. Hey, if I make a video about him, well, there goes my second.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
Onision's trying to take my shekels away, fucking prick.
bastard. Yeah, but as I told Nick, what bothers me is just the whole thing with Dieter. Just because I saw what happened and what she's painting it as did not happen.
That's probably legitimately the only thing about that still bothers me a lot. The rest of it I've kind of brushed off, but yeah.
Did you see it happen? Because
no, I didn't.
I know Andy saw what happened, but
I wouldn't talk about it if I did. But I'm gonna go. I hope you guys have a fantastic night. Nick, come get me for Battlegrounds here in a little bit.
Yeah, I'll be up in like probably 5 minutes.
All right, cool.
Give me like 20 minutes and we could just squad.
There we go. Yeah, and then Monday. Yeah, Matt's doing his stream, but he says after he's done with that, he's down. So
cool.
All right, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette then.
All right, later, guys.
I got the peanut butter and jelly thing.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette and get ready to squad. So see you guys.
Bye.
Wait, failure. What's your Steam?
Failure accomplished.
No.
Failure Steam is.
yeah, I'll say for what it's worth. I honestly really did think that PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds was fun playing solo, and it is fun solo. But squatting up, god damn, that's so. I like when like my team quit on my earlier stream, and I'll be streaming by the way. Yeah, I was just like, no, let's keep going. Come on, just keep going. It's good. It's good. It's a good thing.
Yeah, dude, I love doing the squads. It's so fun.
It's so much.
But the only thing that sucks is when you start playing squads a lot more, what you find is people just being super fucking gay. Like, they kill you outside of the safe zone and shit. Hiding behind the gas.
We've turned to gaming talk and we lost the important people, so
fine, fuck you. Bye. Failure. My Steam's in the side chat, add me.
Okay.
Yeah, we got those cunts who just dropped out. Wiz is back.
No, I just F5 real quick. I said I'd stick around for 5 minutes, and I will.
Okay, we'll go for 5 minutes. We'll go till Wiz.
Oh, are you keeping this alive for me? Because you can kill this shit whenever you fucking want.
Well, mainly until Wrath gets back, so he's not completely confused. It tends to kind of set him off. He's not used to unexpected change.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't confusing the autistic one of the funner things in life?
Only when we're alive. When we're off air, it's worthless.
Oh, that's a good point. I just you could just start a whole new, you could just go over to Failure's channel, start a whole new stream, and
I want to sleep.
Let's all jump to Failure's channel.
Really confuse them that way. It's like, wait a second, I thought there was a fucking stream going on, guys. What's going on? Oh, there is a stream going on. You just haven't been invited yet. Would you like to come on? Well, no, not now. You guys are a bunch of dicks. Fuck you.
Anyway, we're not actually gonna run out the fucking 5 minutes Wiz has got. We had fucking failure accomplished. That's Tiki Bomber, Vamp Candy, Fucking Wizard of Cause. Jeff Holiday was here, I think. Sinatra says was here according to the side chat. Anyone else?
Naomi, you forgot Naomi.
What's your name?
Yeah,
What's your name?
yes, Naomi was here. Don't bother looking at her channel. We're not allowed to say her name.
Schmeckle, what's your real name?
Harambe Jr.
My real name is
Harambe
Joseph
Jr.
Gregory Peter.
Harambe Jr.
Yeah, boy.
And then we
Chat
had
is lit.
Wrath of Controversy. I'll present him. You can look at this beautiful cunt. I actually can't hit the present button right now. And then there was me. If you don't know my name, they all just said it a couple times. Go back a few seconds.
Harambe Jr.